to be. And then around noon yesterday, things really started to break towards the Lobos naming a coach. And at first, it was sources say frontrunner Jay Hill. As the day went on, Danny Gonzalez rose up once again, and then it became, official last night at halftime. But you started to get confirmation. Lobo football has a new head coach, and it is among one of the fan favorites. Welcome into the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. JJ Buck, our quarterback. Ned James, Hoser, Jason holding it down on ProView. You can watch us, Comcast Channel 26 on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Stream the show. It is a busy day. It is a big day. And when I hear from you, Lobo fan, we'll talk about Lobo basketball's victory over Grand Canyon last night. That's 6 in a row for basketball. What do you think of this team so far? As you can say, they're rounding into form right now with 2 games left remaining in the non-conference schedule. But it was made official. And you're wondering, as time went on, would it be someone else? Would it be someone like Jay Hill, who just happens to still be coaching as the head coach for Weber State? Because if it was one of the assistants, wouldn't they have done it by now? Well, they did it official last night when Danny Gonzalez came down Dreamstyle Arena, the pit ramp, after Eddie Nunez said, please welcome our 32nd head football coach, Danny Gonzalez, the Danny Gonzalez that played at Valley High School, that walked on at the University of New Mexico, that played for the Lobos, that coached for the Lobos, coached with Rocky Long, has been at San Diego State, was at Arizona State the last 2 years. They made it official yesterday. And Ned, you texted me just simply, Danny Gonzalez. Yes.
Yeah.
So when you found out that this was indeed the guy, what was your thoughts?
Well, I was very excited and proud, and a lot of things went through my mind just because, you know, we spoke yesterday, and I specifically pointed out the fact that I was biased towards alumni, and I, being a former, student athlete here at UNM, I really respected the fact that, they were considering a former player, former coach here, was with Danny in passing in 2002. Before I went to the Titans, he was here as a graduate assistant coach. So it was great to see that, we were able to pick up someone that I was familiar with, first of all, and that I think a lot of the people in the community, which I think is very important, respect and want to see. I talked to a lot of guys that played with Danny that are alumni in the community, and they were absolutely fired up yesterday afternoon when they heard the news, and the news came down that Danny would be the coach, the next coach, football coach. I personally think that it's one of the greatest hires we've had in a long time here at UNM. I mean, Rocky Long was good, but Rocky Long was not a native. He was like myself, a California transplant here. Rocky did great things.
But you guys fell in love with the Lobos.
With the Lobos.
Look,
Absolutely.
Somehow, some way, you found your way
in some
back,
ways, Rocky,
and you're here.
Rocky left, but I think he's trying to find his way back home. We fell in love with this place, and we all returned. You always return to the place you love. So, thinking, having Danny be the front runner really, really shows that the people here, and I think there were a lot of people who took part in the process that really had their voices heard, and that's what it's all about. The community getting their voice heard. They came out and probably in indirect ways approached this administration, approached all the powers to be to get someone here that they really could wrap their arms around and know that person would wrap their arms around them and really come together as a and that's what it's all about, is coming together as a team. I think the choice was excellent. I think from the beginning. And there were a lot of good candidates. I'm not going to, just say that there weren't any other viable candidates, but I think they got it right. I mean, that's the one thing I was really impressed. I was impressed. We were at the basketball game last night when they rolled out Danny as the new head coach, but just the overall enthusiasm of the administration. I thought Eddie did a great job of keeping the hire close to the vest. It didn't get out. It didn't leak. There wasn't, everybody was speculating, but he did a really good job of the presentation, bringing them out at halftime of this game, letting it be known that that's how they were going to do it, and then the highlights, the people cheering for the new head coach at the pit. Danny explaining that he was excited for the basketball team and their record. And, it's just, that he's probably grown up just like all the little kids that grew up here in this community that someday, want to be a Lobo. He was that kid coming to the pit watching basketball games, watching football games. The Yaffle kids, now they see in this community that they can one day be a Lobo, whether it be a football player, basketball player, or the coach one day.
And look at Danny Gonzalez. He got into coaching right after his senior season in 1998. He was a graduate assistant for 4 years at the University of New Mexico, became video coordinator, and then in 2006, he started coaching safety and special teams for 3 seasons, and one of those seasons was the 2007 squad that went that had the New Mexico Bowl victory over Colin Kaepernick and the Nevada Wolfpack, 23-0 win for New Mexico. And then following that, after 2008, he got back in 2011 with the staff at San Diego State and Rocky Long. Past 2 seasons, he's been the assistant head coach, defensive coordinator at Arizona State. Herm Edwards, they've turned it around at ASU. So that's a lengthy resume. Yeah. He's worked his way up. He's done a little bit of everything, and now this is his opportunity to become head coach. And it was a little back and forth yesterday because Arizona State's preparing for a bowl game. And Danny Gonzalez had met with the media, and at that time, he said he didn't have an offer. Maybe, and of course, they're all playing the game.
Right.
So he's not going to say, yeah, I have an offer on the table. But the way he was speaking and some of the things we heard, it didn't seem imminent, and he wasn't hinting at much. But what it looks like is one of his big things, and you see it in Steve Virgin's story as well this morning, kind of looking back at some of his quotes over the last few years, is money for assistance and support in recruiting and academics. Right. And it feels like what happened yesterday. You start reading some of the reports, and this is also a tweet from Chris Cartman, who writes for Sun Devil Source, 24/7 Sports. Yeah. He put it out there yesterday that about 25 minutes after speaking with reporters, New Mexico had agreed to requests related to staff and support for those resources. So there was, looks like a little back and forth yesterday. All right, you want me? Well, I need this. Then Lobo's having to go back, get things in order, and then able to get it done with Danny Gonzalez.
Yeah, well, they probably, they called the Brinks truck. They had the Brinks truck back up at Dreamstyle Arena, and they had to back up and deposit or I guess get some money out of the Brinks truck for Danny and his staff and his recruiting. Those things they happen in negotiations, and Danny's right. I mean, you have to give him a fair chance. All he wants is a fair chance to be competitive, and if you have resources, it's going to take resources to get the job done. Danny knows that. Danny's been around it long enough. The thing I appreciate more, even more so than him being an alumni, is he's paid his dues. He went through the graduate assistant process, which is a tough process. I mean, there's long nights. You got to sit there. You got to break. It's not as tough as it was back in the day when I was a graduate assistant with you 8mm.
These guys had the reels. You had to rewind by hand.
We had to rewind by we had the real stuff. I mean, the digital age has really changed things. I mean, you just point and click and do all that sort of stuff. But I mean, he's come up through the ranks. I mean, you still have to pay your dues. Mm-hmm. He really did. He's worked from the ground up, so he knows how it works from the ground up. And that's important in this business because you've got to know with the little man, you've got to deal with equipment managers, trainers, videographers. You got to know what their responsibilities are and how efficient things have to run in order for the program to go smooth. And you deal with players a little bit more when you're a younger coach and you're a graduate assistant and you see what players go through. You kind of understand that dynamic. And then he rose through the ranks in the coaching, was around some really quality coaching, not just Rocky, but other assistant coaches that I'm sure he's going to look at to bring on a staff that really kind of maybe helped mold him into the coach that he is. That's going to be important. The money it's going to take to kind of maybe woo guys off of other staffs, or maybe even afford a guy who's probably doing better at something else or somewhere else. So, and those are guys that he respects and trusts, and guys that'll watch his back and those kind of things, because all those things are going to be important because you're going to have people pulling at you for all sorts of things, and you're going to have to be able to trust your staff to do the things and have the same vision that you have, that you've developed along the way. And I think it's just just a testament to Danny to maybe stick to his guns as far as, hey, look, I can't come there unless we have these things in place, because it's going to be imperative that we do the right things in order for in all fairness, he doesn't want to embarrass his community, himself, his family. He's got a lot of people here that are really dependent on him.
And we'll get into that throughout the morning. Quan's Auto Care hotline is 246-0610, 1-888-922-0610. This was a hire a lot of you wanted. This is the flash. This is win the press conference, right, bringing the New Mexico kid back to coach the program. So what does the honeymoon period look like? What will you do, Lobo fan, in year one? Will you show up? Will you support the New Mexico kid in a new program? That it's to be determined what the staff will look like. Recruiting, early signing period is open. There's a lot of work to be done. Yeah. So the question is, year one expectations for Lobo football, and then going into year two, because they're going to be different. So what do you think of this hire? 246-0610. Get your thoughts going into next year. How long are you giving Danny? Are you buying season tickets? You'll take the wait and see approach, but Danny Gonzalez is the new head football coach for the University of New Mexico. We'll dive into that throughout the morning. Coming up next, Lobo basketball got the job done in the second half. Now they've won 6 in a row. What do you think about that? It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM and the Sports Animal.
Lava Rock Brewing Company, conveniently located on Albuquerque's west side, just south of I-40. You can come on in, enjoy our pizza, pasta, burgers, and more by Matucci's. It's all at Lava Rock. Lava Rock Brewing Company, come on in.
Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club, or DreamstyleRemodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
The Lascombe family has been growing and crafting wine in New Mexico since 1981. Formerly known as St. Clair Winery, we're going back to our roots and honoring our founders, Danielle and Hervé Lascombe. Today, our D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro.
Sleepy first half, going through the motions, some sloppy basketball. 37-31. Carlos Johnson for Grand Canyon got hot at 11 points over the last 11 minutes. A little bit of a late push from Grand Canyon into halftime. But it was all New Mexico in the second half. Lobos victorious 91-71 last night at Dreamstyle Arena, the Pit. They are now 11-2 overall, and they have won 6 in a row. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. JJ Buck, former Lobo quarterback, Ned James, Hoser, Jason holding it down on ProView. Check us out, Comcast Channel 26, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube streaming worldwide, as well. You can watch and or listen to us on a daily basis. And don't forget the podcast, Opening Drive On Demand, posted after the show. Every day you can listen back to all the local content. Last night for the Lobos, bit of a worry early. Just there wasn't a lot of energy in the building. Just kind of felt like a get-by game last night. I spoke with one of the coaches beforehand, and he kind of had that feeling. He's like, yeah, it might be one of those nights. Coming off New Mexico State, Grand Canyon 4-8 on the other side. There's been a lot of hype about that program, but they haven't been playing well. Lobos are 12.5-point favorites. It was one of the ones you needed to really get the guys going, and you saw that kind of midway through the second half. That's when they really settled in and were able to run away with it.
Yeah, early in the game, you could see that the energy wasn't there. It probably picked up because of the announcement of Danny Gonzalez in the second half. That's probably why the guys got a little, because the crowd was a little more animated. So that might have helped a little. But they did a good job. I think the introduction of Vontae Hendricks is what I think was really kind of important, because I've watched him in practice, over the last couple months, and he's been a guy that a lot of people are going to talk about now as far as his energy, what he brings to the team. And I guess he had a couple big 3-pointers last night as well.
4 of them in the second half.
Yeah, but I mean, the guy plays like that all the time. He's really energetic. He's kind of a guy like a J.J. Caldwell was initially, when he was really kind of pushing the pace and getting everybody to speed their game up. He's going to be another guy that's really going to really get these fans excited about Lobo basketball, because he really brings a lot of energy to the team. And so, I mean, the Lobos, I guess the fans are going to be excited because now they see that we've got some depth. Now they see that, hey, there are a lot of players out there. And Vance Jackson really hasn't come into his own yet, and he's going to come around.
Solid yesterday. He had 7 points early in the second half.
But he's still got to kill those mismatches, because he's playing on a guy who's way smaller than him, and he really didn't take advantage of that. And those are things that they're going to. I just don't see the chemistry yet with him, but it's got to come at some point. You know, they're getting into the season now, so he's got to kind of find his game here pretty quick, I think.
Quan's Auto Care hotline is 246-0610, 1-888-922-0610. You can also email me, jj at 610knml.com. If you're sending them to Jeff, he's not going to read them. He's never going to see them. He's a little bit busy this week with the New Mexico Bowl. If you want to send an email, it's jj at 610knml.com. Or you can find me on Twitter, _JJBuck, very active on the social media. Go to the phones. Lobo Joe. What's up, Joe? How you doing?
Good morning, guys. How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. What's up?
So last night, man, with Vontae Hendricks, I was extremely impressed. I mean, that dude, he just comes in and didn't skip a beat.
Art.
Like he had been playing all year. I was like, wow, this dude can ball. And I loved it. And Danny Gonzalez coming in as a Lobo football head coach, I'm all about it, man. From Albuquerque, Valley High School, UNM alum, and the dude is brown. I'm down with that. I'll take it.
Absolutely.
Anyways, that's all I got. Thanks, guys.
I like it.
Hey, absolutely. Some diversity in the coaching hire. That is a big thing.
Yes.
Not just, hey, a New Mexico guy, but someone that can relate to different communities. Absolutely is a big part of it.
And like I said yesterday when we talked about Danny Gonzalez being the coach, you know, to me, the diversity thing, people speak about a little bit, but it's not more about us adults. It's more about kids. You know, kids see someone who's like them that they could, kind of espouse to be one day. I think having Danny being from the community, you know, the kids at the elementary schools around town, now they say, hey, man, this kid, he came from, my neighborhood. He grew up the same way I grew up. I can be that guy one day. And that's what it's all about. I mean, that's, we talk about this stuff all the time. But to me, it's more important that, kids get to have an opportunity to, one day espouse to be whoever they want to be. They want to be, a doctor, a lawyer, kids want to, they want to see somebody that looks like them that are in that position. I think, and I've said this time and time again, I thought it's been way too long that we didn't have someone of Mexican heritage being the head coach, whether it's basketball, baseball, football here at the University of New Mexico, with this being a Hispanic servant institution. And Danny fits the profile of someone who, he's done it the right way. He's come up. He's had to pay his dues. I mean, and that's a part of life. Kids, they're going to learn that, hey, Danny didn't all of a sudden just get the job because he was Danny Gonzalez. He had to work, and if you work hard enough and you stick with it, great things can happen. And that's great. I'm glad Lobo Joe brought that up because it's important the kids see that. Art,
you're on the opening drive. What's going on, Art?
Hey, JJ, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. What's up?
Yeah, I just want to comment a couple of things. Number one, I agree with the other caller. I really like how that addition came in. I think he just makes that team, that bench, one of the better benches in Mountain West, and maybe even the top 30 programs in the NCAAs. And also, I think he brings in the element of, okay, if you want playing time, I came to play. So if you're going to take my time, you got to show coach what you can do, because this is how I'm going to play every day. So I think that's a great spunk and attitude to have, that type of player on your team. It kind of reminds me a little bit like a Kurt Rambis type guy that does the little things and just will get after it. And then, you know what, I just noticed something with McFarlowatch. Excuse me for butchering his name, but he reminds me a little bit of Michael Cooper a little bit. I think by senior year, if he can really get some defense, he might have a shot being the next type of Cooper protege to go in the NBA from the Lobos. And then as far as the coach, that was a good hire. And I want your opinion. Do you think that he would, it's just an idea, do you think he may reach out to Urlacher and see if Urlacher would want to come and be part of his defensive staff with the linebackers? And then I'll just listen on the radio. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate the phone call, Art. Now, going quickly on McQuatch Malawatch, he's been quiet the last couple games. That's going to happen when you have talent and depth like the Lobos have. Yeah. Some of these guys are going to go ebbs and flows. Now, people aren't going to freak out because Malawatch is the glue guy. He's not one he has to have the ball. He's going to do a little bit of everything. I think he's defending well. I think he's definitely that guy as a junior that has grown tremendously, and there's a chance by the end of his career, he's going to be a 1,000-point scorer in his career at UNM. He fits in nicely. So people don't kind of overreact to Malawatch's quiet games like to do Vance Jackson, but I think he's a dude that fits in perfectly, bridges that gap because there's other dudes, there's ballers, there's guys that get their shots, and then it's just kind of McQuatch in there 17 minutes doing his job.
Yeah, but you can't put the cart before the horse. No. Top 30, all that sort of stuff.
Slow
down a
little
bit.
Slow down. And Paul, we talked about it. Hendricks is a very streaky guy. He has that ability.
Yeah.
And we're going to hear from Paul Ware, his post-game conversation. He had some comments on Vontae Hendricks and also minutes because that's the big thing. He keeps answering that question. I asked Carlton Bragg about it last night. So we'll get into that, the minutes, the playing time moving forward, this Lobo basketball team. Of course, your thoughts on Danny Gonzalez being hired as the new football coach. But coming up next, the community lost a very special person. We need to share our thoughts with the family and about the life that was lived. And that is next. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Sports Animal time is now 7:26. Let's take a look at this morning's commute once again. It is brought to you by Great Clips. This holiday season, look great and save time with a haircut from Great Clips. Download the Great Clips app or go to greatclips.com to check in online ahead of time when you visit one of our 25 Albuquerque, Los Lunas, Rio Rancho, and Santa Fe area locations. Great Clips, home of the online check-in. Right now we have a minor crash at Unser and McMahon with slight eastbound delays. Accident / police activity at westbound I-40 in Carnual. That is on the right shoulder. We have a minor crash at Unser and Montano with slight delays north and southbound happening there. Hurt yourself exercising, play sports, or slip and fall? Don't sit in pain in the emergency room. Every Duke City Urgent Care location has an x-ray machine on site, and it's faster and less expensive than the ER. Learn more at DukeCityUrgentCare.com. And if you see an accident, make sure and give us a call on the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167, brought to you by American Home Furniture Outlet and Clearance Center at I-25 and Comanche. I'm Josue with your Sports Animal Traffic.
The Jim Rome Show.
The Sports Animal has been in existence a quarter of a century. This radio station is so amazing. I have been on that station 25 years. I'm really, really grateful for that. Really thankful for that. Albuquerque is an incredible jungle market.
The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays at 10, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
People's Flowers for the holidays. Holiday flowers, holiday poinsettias, holiday fruit, and gourmet baskets. Flowers make a perfect holiday gift for that special someone in town or out of town. People's Flowers will make your home look perfect with ornaments, greenery, holiday arrangements, and wreaths. People's Flowers delivers locally or around the world. Complete your holiday list with simple beauty from People's Flowers' 5 locations. Shop today. Flowers say it all. People's makes the difference.
What is wealth management? Wealth management is the plan, the path you follow to work toward the financial future you want. There are so many financial tools available: investments, retirement accounts, educational savings plans, and more. Let the wealth management advisors at Kirtland Financial Services help you sort through them all and make decisions for you and your family. Get started today at kirtlandfcu.org/invest. Kirtland Financial Services. Let's make plans. Securities and financial planning offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA SIPC. Insurance products offered through LPL Financial or its licensed affiliates, not credit union guaranteed.
Running out of gift ideas, searching for great toys. Follow me to gifts for girls and boys. There's toys that fly and toys that glow, toys to hug and toys to throw. Just wrap them up, hop on a bow. Brands they'll love and priced so low. Come on, look around, there's toys galore. You'll spend much less, but gift much more at the stores that you've been searching for. Spend less, gift better at TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and HomeGoods.
TJ Trout here, and winter fishing in New Mexico? Why not? There are fish to be had. For info and to buy your license today, visit the Department of Game and Fish website at wildlife.nm.state.us. Get out and fish, New Mexico.
Leonard Tire and Automotive has helped with Cooper Tires, installation, repairs. You should really think about trusting your tire and automotive repair jobs with them. Leonard Tire Automotive been a family-run business. And one of the things I like about them, there's never been a hassle with them ever. Leonard Tire and Automotive is also car care. Change your oil almost quick as the quick stops can. They do engine repair, tune-ups, just about anything you need done on your vehicle. Stop by and see old Travis or Don Leonard today at Leonard Tire and Automotive. They're good folks, they really are. Second in Loma, so Eubank and Manal.
The UFC heads to Rio Rancho, New Mexico on Saturday, February 15th for UFC Fight Night.
That is crazy to watch, folks.
In the main event, it's a light heavyweight showdown as Corey Overtime Anderson looks to make it 5 in a row against Jan Blachowicz. And Tough 1 winner and fan favorite Diego Sanchez takes on Michelle Pereira. See UFC Fight Night live at Santa Ana Star Center. Tickets on sale Friday at Ticketmaster.com.
Hi, I'm Tanya Giddings, Assessor for Bernalillo County. I'm excited to host the 3rd Annual Veteran Outreach every 3rd Thursday of the month from December through April. Visit burnco.gov/assessor or call 505-222-3700 for more information.
Doesn't it seem like things are always getting more expensive? Groceries, the rent, even utilities. Cost of living is up, but Allstate can help lower your cost of driving. With new lower auto rates, you get the same high-quality coverage and hands-on expertise from a local Allstate agent. Now, with new lower rates, you're in good hands with Allstate.
If you haven't quoted Allstate lately, it's the perfect time. Get a quote today. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Savings vary. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The Dan Patrick Show, today at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Community lost a good one yesterday. The voice of La Cueva High School athletics and so much more. It's opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal. JJ Buckhead, James Hoser, Jason holding it down on ProView. Austin Denton passed away. 18-year-old, soon to be Arizona State Sun Devil, just graduated La Cueva High School. You know his story. At 2 years old, he was diagnosed with a spinal cord tumor. He was battling that his entire life, and he was winning that battle. Unfortunately, yesterday he went to the biggest interview possible as Austin passes away, and it was just shocking. He was such a good kid, man. He had passion for sports broadcasting. He had passion for sports. He lit you up when you look at the energy he had, and it reminded you, you know what, my day's good. If he can have this kind of will, determination, I'm going to be good. And it was definitely something that reminded me how grateful I am to be in this position, and how much fun this is to cover sports, to get to talk to you all on a daily basis, share our opinions, share our emotional investment in these things. And Austin was that kid that was on that path.
Yeah.
And in this, Jeff Grammer wrote a story about Austin, and he pulls a quote from a St. Jude video. And Austin that's a big part of his life with St. Jude and what they did for him and that family, to give him that opportunity to experience all the things that he did in his life. And one of the quotes from the St. Jude video, Austin says, quote, "Now I don't let physical limitations even cross my mind at any point in time. I'm just hoping to be sitting in a broadcast booth somewhere, hopefully. That's my goal." Well, Austin, you accomplished your goal. You were indeed a broadcaster. You did great things in this community. He stepped up on the tailgate show before he joined us, and he talked global football, give a scout on the opponent, what he did with high school athletics. He interviewed Peyton Manning. He announced a draft pick. You absolutely accomplished your goal, Austin, and you meant so much to so many people, and it will be missed. And I knew that he had been struggling with some health things because he was going to go to Arizona State, and he put out on social media, "Hey, I have to kind of push this back. I won't get there as soon as I wanted to." And then just hearing the news that he passed away yesterday, it was just devastating. But Austin and to the Denton family, our thoughts are with you. It was an amazing young man that will have impact forever in this community, especially when it comes to sports and just life. And I love too the addition of Austin Denton landed one last scoop, as Jeff Grammer put it, because Connor O'Toole, a good friend of his, really highly recruited football player in the state right now, the Quaver wide receiver, said that he told Austin on Monday night his decision, no one else but Austin, of where he's going. And, to just that just lit up Austin to have that information, know where his friend is going. And I know, Jason, you guys did so much with him, and you see the photo right there on ProView if you're watching us on Comcast Channel 26 and online, the ProView crew and Austin right there. You got to work with him, and just how great a dude he was. And it was amazing, his talent already for all these things.
Oh, he was way ahead of his time. I mean, even if he wasn't at the game, I'd always get a message, "Hey, J. Pole, your audio's a little spotty. Hey, J. Pole, the stream's not up," and so on and so forth. But he was fully invested in his craft, and you would never see him complain. He was always there, and his dad was always there, just like Austin ran the show. He was the man. So it was ray of light every time you see him. Jokes all the time. He was just normal kid. Yeah, he's hilarious.
He was. He was wise beyond his years. Yep. Like what he was doing, I think back, like what did I have a passion for like that at 18? It was probably like eating Cheetos and playing video games. Yeah. But he was invested. He was at all these sporting events. He was doing radio. He was keeping stats. He was calling games. Already had the energy and the talent for that. It was amazing.
Yeah, the complex. It was really somber over at the UNM complex yesterday when I guess the news came down, because it took me, it caught me off guard, because when I walked in, I was just trying to find out what's going on. Hey, what's the I had just gotten back. I've been gone out of town, so just the somber nature of the event, of what happened with Austin, just kind of told me exactly how special he was and how well loved he was around the UNM athletic department. So that tells you in itself, how much he gave with sports to the community here.
And I didn't get a chance to meet him, but the same thought came to my mind, like you said. As far as sometimes we take what we're able to do for granted. This young man, was just just trying to do the most he could every single day. And sometimes we have those days or those moments you're like, oh, you're tired, and it gave you a kind of a sense of a gut check to be like, hey, I need to be better. This young man, was always tried to be better each and every day. I never got a chance to meet him, but throughout everybody, Twitter and everything, you saw what he was about and what he was passionate about. So yeah,
he was invested. He was doing a blog on his own about everything. He'd write about United. He'd write about UFC. He'd do basketball. He'd do football. And I've done a blog before, and that's an investment.
Yeah.
That is just a passion, because you have to love that, the time invested. When you're just out there blogging, you're not getting paid. You're just trying to put that out there for people to consume, to take a step forward. And he was doing all those things. And you see more photos popping up on ProView, and it was post-game interviews talking with the coaches and players. And one of the things that, too, was circulating yesterday on social media is a post from Connor O'Toole's mom. And she kind of highlights the best way to remember Austin among everything else, how he affected her life, how we're going to think of him and the energy moving forward. But she reminded everybody, hey, if you want to do something, donate to St. Jude. And how important that was in their lives, how that helped him get to this point in his life with his family, overcoming those things, as a 2-year-old, going through all that. I can't just imagine being a young kid and dealing with that, and perspective changes. I sit there with the 10-month-old now and just couldn't imagine dealing with that. But St. Jude was something that was so big in that family, and
it's so beneficial, because he mentioned that in one of his interviews that if it wasn't for St. Jude, he might not gotten to live as long as he did. So he was very thankful for that.
It's ironic, because St. Jude's is in Memphis, and that's where I was at. And I was my daughter's getting into exercise science and nursing and stuff, and she's trying to intern at St. Jude's. And a good friend of mine in town here, Eugene Etheridge, his brother's wife was a nurse's supervisor at St. Jude. So it's all connected, and it's great to hear. That's one of the things that we can do to help is contribute to St. Jude's, which they do just a phenomenal job out there. It's just amazing what our country has done as far as the donations. The donations that come in to help St. Jude, and all the events that put on, all the road races and those kind of things that raise money for St. Jude's Hospital. So just keep that going.
And also, the public is invited to a celebration of life. It will be Saturday, 10 a.m., La Cueva High School Gymnasium. It will be all about Austin and the life he lived, and you can share with the friends and family. Once again, that will be this Saturday, 10 a.m., at La Cueva High School in the gym, 10 a.m., to remember the life of Austin Denton. So definitely want to talk about Austin this morning and share those thoughts. He will never be forgotten. His passion will always live on in us, in the sports community, and just throughout with the life he was able to live. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Sports Animal time is now 7:40. Let's take a look here again at Wednesday morning's commute. This report is sponsored by KOAT Action 7 News. Well, right now, earlier minor crash on Unser and McMahon has been clear. Still active is accident with police activity westbound I-40 near Carnival. That is on the right shoulder. Slight delays happening there. And minor crash at Unser and Montano with slight delays happening to north and southbound traffic. If you see an accident, make sure and give us a call on the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167, brought to you by American Home Furniture Outlet and Clearance Center at I-25 and Comanche. I'm Josue with your Sports Animal Traffic.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute. A quarter of the NFL franchises face questions concerning their veteran quarterbacks. And frankly, my guesses are as good as yours, folks. Easy answers are that in Pittsburgh, Ben Roethlisberger, Baltimore's Robert Griffin III, and Jacksonville's Nick Foles remain where they are. The Giants' Eli Manning and his 2004 draft twin, Phillip Rivers, of the Chargers will either retire or play out their careers as free agents. Tennessee's Marcus Mariota desperately needs a change of scenery, which he'll get as a free agent. However, the same scenario didn't exactly work out this season for Denver's Joe Flacco. Teddy Bridgewater went 5-0, filling in during Drew Brees' thumb injury. But will he wait to inherit the Saints' starting mantle from the youthful 40-year-old Brees? Finally, Carolina's Cam Newton is the biggest question mark. With a new head coach coming in, I think he's either traded or released. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The Sports Bar with Michael and Mike.
My favorite part of the Sports Bar would probably be Lobos, Aggies, and Dallas Cowboys.
I just like all the Lobo coverage that you guys have and the in-depth parts that you give to the program.
I just love listening to you guys.
Sports Bar at 3 p.m.
You never know what's going to happen next, and it's hilarious. I love the chemistry. I appreciate you guys. You do a great job.
Weekday,
Rudy.
95.9 FM and AM 610.
Rudy.
Sports Animal.
We're a city on the move. Art is open on Central Avenue with free rides through the end of the year. Skip traffic. Take art to the River of Lights. Central's open for business. Come on board. For more information, visit abqride.com.
My family is very close. When we all get together, our parties are huge, all-day affairs. Grandma always does the cooking, and there's always plenty of wine and beer to go around. Like a good family, we look out for each other. If anyone has been drinking, we don't let them get behind the wheel. One of us will be the designated driver, or we arrange for a safe ride home. It's one of the ways our family shows the love.
If you drink, don't drive, because family time is better than jail time. Let's end DWI. Brought to you by NMDOT.
Has your car been blindsided? Make the right call to Quan's Auto Body. With our certified collision repair and top quality customer service, you'll be sure to score with this decision. With 39 years of local experience, Quan's Auto Body is the only choice you should ever need when it comes to choosing an auto body shop. Come and see the guys who make it better at any of our 3 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Quan's Auto Body. We make it better. Visit quans.com.
Do you want to change your drinking? The ABQ Treat Study is looking for volunteers between the ages of 22 and 55 to participate in a research study examining how the brain, behavior, and emotions change after alcohol treatment. You will attend 12 weekly treatment sessions and receive up to $440 to complete surveys and brain imaging over 15 months. For more details or to schedule an appointment, call ABQ Treat at 505-633-8861. 505-633-8861.
Hey, it's Michael Carlisle. By now, you've probably seen commercials from national companies that promote 100% online mortgage loan with no human interaction. Don't fall for it. I suggest you call Ben Lucero at Indigo Mortgage instead. On the surface, an online mortgage loan might sound easy, but applying for a mortgage isn't like buying a new pair of shoes. You're a real person making a real decision on the biggest financial transaction of your life. You gotta ask, is the real person for the 100% online lenders for the benefit of you, the consumer, or for them, the company? Mortgages are very complex and more than just plugging numbers in and locking in a rate. You might have questions, and have a friendly, caring professional is the only way to get the answers you need. You're not a transaction, you're a person. Nobody cares more about your mortgage loan than Ben Lucero and his team at Indigo Mortgage. Call them at 836-5700 or visit them at indigomortgage.net. A local lender who wants what's best for you, 836-5700.
NMLS 188348.
Catch the Sports Bar with Michael Carlisle and Mike Trujillo. Local talk today at 3, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
This is what we are here for. We got you covered. We're talking Lobo basketball. Danny Gonzalez. Remembering a life in the community. This is what local radio does for you. This is a big time morning. Want to hear from you. 246-0610, 1-888-922-0610. You can email me, JJ at 610knml.com, because I know you guys send Jeff emails. He reads them all the time. He's not reading them this week. He's a little busy. He's not going to get back to you.
A lot of busy.
On your basketball takes, your Danny Gonzalez takes, at least this week. Because today, San Diego State and Central Michigan come to town.
Yeah.
Because the New Mexico Bowl is Saturday, noon kickoff, Dream Style Stadium, and we have tickets for you. You should buy them as well at some point in time, but we still will give you a chance to win them. 9:09 today, so stay tuned. Pair of tickets to the New Mexico Bowl this year. I'm excited. My crew's ready to roll out there. Little one will be attending his first bowl game, so it'll be a lot of fun. So this is a day I reset. I'm not emotionally invested. I don't have to do a post-game show. I just show up and I be a fan, and it's very nice.
But you will be taking notes because Rocky will be there.
Always in my head. Always in the head.
Yeah.
It's always going. But it's just a great time to have some fun and kind of have that reminder of, oh yeah, this can be fun at times.
And it'll be a good game too. I've got a good friend of mine, Wayne Mays, Dr. Wayne Mays. He's a Central Michigan alum, so he's got some investment in the game. He's gonna, bring the family out and have some people out at the game. So
very cool.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun to see some people who are invested with Rocky.
Everyone else will be invested. But I'm just gonna enjoy it. It's always a great event. It's been a lot of fun. And later this week, it's it's 150 years of college football. Yeah. So we've seen the lists that have been out there. 100 years for the NFL as well. So big year for just the sport of football this season. But the New Mexico Bowl has released their all-decade teams, and we'll get into that later in this week. You'll be surprised, reminded the talent that has played in this game. That has went on to the next level. JJ Buck, that's our quarterback, Ned James. Hoser, Jason holding you down on ProView. Check us out, Comcast Channel 26, on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, streaming every single day. 246-0610 is the phone number. Rudy, good morning. What's up, Rudy?
Well, good morning. Hey, sorry I yammered on so much yesterday, but I was really excited about the opportunity to get Danny Gonzalez in here. I'm glad that came through to fruition. Number one, you get the bargain of the century. This guy's, somebody goes, do you think he can make, this guy's going to succeed. Make no doubt about it. And it was so nice to see people lining up in the pit to shake his hand. That's the kind of community engagement that Danny's going to bring to the table. I talked to Eddie. Guess what? Today, season tickets for Lobo football go on sale. So get that guy or gal who you don't know what to get for Christmas, JJ, get him Lobo football season tickets.
Good stocking stuffer.
Yes. Absolutely. And I really, really, I've known Danny since the day he walked on at UNM. And, I gave him a big hug, and I told him, welcome home. And this guy's going to get the job done. He really knows football. And it's really funny because sometimes the guys who aren't your best player turn out to be the best coaches.
Yeah.
So he soaked up the game. He is fully invested in this university, and I think it's going to help us at the legislature and everything else. Austin Denton, I know his parents. They were cheerleaders at UNM. My heart goes out to them. He was a great kid, just a wonderful person, and really had a talent, and pursued that talent. And he might have not been able to run or jump, but his voice came through with all the excitement of somebody who had done those things in their life. And I just think that it's a really sad day for me because I really liked that kid. He was something else. Finally, we've got a pretty good basketball program. And so if we ever get football going like basketball, this community will just be amazing. So that's my Christmas wish for everybody.
Hey.
And we'll see you out at all the bowl events. I got to go out there and greet some teams today.
All right, Rudy, enjoy it. Have fun. Appreciate the phone call.
Yeah.
Christmas wish.
Christmas wish.
Happy Lobo Athletics.
I wish. I want to see football thrive as well. So I'm excited. I mean, I think that's great that he's kind of brought forth the welcoming of a homegrown son back home. I guess.
And that's a question too this morning. What do you expect year one, and then going into year two? Is this a honeymoon phase for you? Because I saw it all year long. I've been back and forth on people. I've asked the question because a lot of people were done with Lobo football, and they're like, Bob Davie, I can't support him anymore. Well, Bob Davie's moved on. Yeah. He ran his course. Business happened.
Yeah.
He wasn't winning. He's not the coach anymore. But you get Danny Gonzalez, someone with a passion for this community. And it's not to say that anyone else got the job wouldn't have the passion, but it is different. When it's an alumni, it's a guy that lived here, grew up here in Albuquerque. So it's also a different set of expectations and pressure on an alum coming back to a school to turn it around. But Lobo fans that stopped going to football, that have been on the fence, and a lot of you too that just were like, get rid of the program, blah, blah, blah. Are you back? Are you going to give Danny Gonzalez a chance and not just a wait-and-see approach? Are you going to buy tickets? Are you going to show up to some games? Even if it's not season tickets, what does a honeymoon period look like for you? Because I heard a lot of people say they're done until. Well, now a decision has been made.
Yes.
Bob Davie is not the football coach anymore. Danny Gonzalez is.
Yes.
So I want to hear from those folks as well. 246-0610. You can send me an email, jj@610knml.com. You can hit me up on Twitter. It's _JJBuck. Are you back? Are you willing to give Danny and this team a chance? Or are you just done forever?
Yeah, the prodigal son returns home. I mean, it's a story made for movies. That's what we have here. Everybody's into the movie scene here. Breaking Bad, all the talk about how New Mexico is the new Hollywood now. So let's see if people show up and make this movie work. Danny's gonna obviously attract a huge following. I mean, the fact that he's a native son here, Rudy made a good point. From the state legislature, I mean, there's going to be a lot of pressure put on people to give and to make this work because he is one of ours, and he's one of the people that this community has developed, and it's all about what have we done as a community to raise up a child. Here he comes. Here comes the child back home, and what are we going to do to help this child succeed? So I really like the whole theme of this. I really enjoyed tonight. The whole halftime thing. I mean, I thought Eddie did a great job with that. I really did. I mean, I guess because it took me by surprise how the presentation went.
And those private planes, they can get you from one place to another
yes.
very quickly.
It was very.
Where earlier in the day, Danny Gonzalez, acting defense coordinator for Arizona State, getting ready.
They get a gold star for that Hollywood performance last night.
I mean, he didn't fly Southwest?
Academy Award. No, he didn't get it in Southwest last night, I'm sure.
That's you're landing at Cutter. Yeah. For sure. That's the Cutter.
Yeah.
Oh, the other
landing.
Side of the airport.
Absolutely. With Danny Gonzalez. So Danny Gonzalez, new Lobo football coach, continue to take your thoughts. We'll continue to dive into it too. Now, what's the staff potential going to look like? The recruiting, the early signing period, the honeymoon phase for him. We're talking Lobo basketball. Mexico State back in action tonight. Got to do Mexico 30. This is what we're here for. This is a week for you, Albuquerque, for you, New Mexico. Take your thoughts, 246-0610.
20.
610candlemail.com, or of course on the Twitter _JJ Bug. The private jet is taking us to break. We come back on the other side. We'll dive into Lobo basketball.
10.
Win over Grand Canyon last night. It's opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Lava Rock Brewing Company, conveniently located on Albuquerque's west side, just south of I-40. You can come on in, enjoy our pizza, pasta, burgers, and more by Matucci's. It's all at Lava Rock. Lava Rock Brewing Company, come on in.
Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club, or DreamstyleRemodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
passwords for the holidays?
Yeah.
Need to catch up on some.
Hey, now that send it to you want to send them to your email account? Please send your passwords for Hulu.
Yeah.
Netflix.
I need to catch up on the Mandalorian. I need some Baby Yoda in my life. If you got a Disney Plus password, you can pass along. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal. You know who the real heroes are. The ones that share the passwords.
Yes. That's a true friend.
J.J. Buck, Lobo quarterback Ned James. Look at the holiday theme over there on ProView. Jason holding it down, Comcast Channel 26. You can check us out, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. I'm sure all your friends, Ned, have been loving watching you on television. You're like, hey, you see me now, guys? I'm a TV star.
Until you told me yesterday, I didn't, I heard you guys, I didn't know you guys did it every single day.
Absolutely, every day.
Yeah, so this is big time, man. You guys are now officially the sports.
Big time. Working with ProView 7 to 10 every morning. You can see it, and it's on demand. You can click back, watch the video. You can check out our podcast, which is post-show as well, wherever you get your podcast. Just listen back to the show because this is one of those days. This is why we are here, hitting you hard locally. Lobo basketball last night, victorious 91-71 over Grand Canyon. Danny Gonzalez officially named as the next head coach of Lobo football. Get into that. And with basketball last night, the first half, sleepy is the word I used. It was a little bit sloppy, but there wasn't a lot of energy in the building either. The fans just kind of there.
Yeah.
It felt like
Tuesday night.
It felt like everyone was just going through the motions last night. The Lobos were 12.5-point favorites. Now, ultimately, they did pull away in the second half, but it was, it felt like a get-by game. Just find a way to get it done.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. In the first half, it was 37-31 for the Lobos. And then in the second half, they started to pull away, and this was a big moment for UNM.
Jaquan working against Isaiah Brown. Step back. Three-pointer on the way. It's good, and he is fouled. A three-pointer by Jaquan, and he'll attempt the 4-point play on another step back. Jaquan's fourth three-pointer of the day. He's got 15, and we'll try for 16.
Yes, that is Jeff Simieta on the call. He was beside Hunter Green last night. At that point in time, a 4-point play converted by Jaquan Lyle. It made it 54-39 just about 4 minutes into the second half, and that's really where the Lobos started to pull away, and they found their rhythm because this happened.
Inbound the ball, McQuatch has it, gets it out to Bragg. A three-pointer from Carlton is good. Carlton Bragg, a fadeaway three, his second three-pointer of the night for the big man. The Lobos lead 69-49, straight to the bucket is Black.
Yep, Carlton Bragg putting the finishing touches on the run the Lobos went on. It was a 10-point game, and then they extended it out to 20 with about 7 minutes left in the second half. Things started to click. So what they did is they hit a lot of shots last night. Yeah. And this is a team that, according to Paul Weir, they want to play bully ball, get to the basket. Last night, it was their shooting, and it was also Vontae Hendricks debuting big time in the second half.
Corner Hendricks for another three, got it! Hendricks has got 12, all on three-pointers. The Lobo lead is 85-63. Welcome to the Lobos, Vontae Hendricks.
After going 0 for 1 in 4 minutes in the first half, Vontae Hendricks goes 4 of 6 from 3, finishes the evening with 12 points, 3 rebounds, an assist, and a steal in his Lobo debut as he came in. Good energy, good shooter. He's going to have those nights, and we're going to hear from Paul Weir in a second about Vontae Hendricks. But last night it was about the shooting, 14 of 26 from behind the arc. They took advantage of the opportunities that Grand Canyon gave them. And it was in the second half, you saw the athleticism, you saw the talent. It was a little three-quarters court trap/press. Paul Weir was talking about, they just wanted to kind of speed up the game, and that's what they did, pull away. And this is what I like about this team, is they're not reliant on shooting. They don't shoot as many threes, but they can make them. So playing inside out, and then when you can hit the shots, leads to a game like that where you win by 20.
Yeah, and it's important that you have several guys who can shoot it. I mean, we haven't even seen Vance Jackson get off like he can. And the bully ball thing, it works. I mean, like I said yesterday, it's a big man's world, man. It's the big guys win, and these guys, stretch fives, Carlton Bragg shooting 3-pointers last night.
Well,
okay, so he's Chris Bosh now. Okay, I get it. You know, the big man who can shoot.
We're said, hey, he'll give him an opportunity as long as he gets the job done. If he's doing a job inside, and we saw it last night, you know, another
he'll let him shoot
14 rebounds, he can take a shot or two from out there if he's doing his job.
Yeah, if he's doing his job.
There you go.
And one thing I really did appreciate watching Carlton earlier in the game, the hustle up and down the court. That's important. I mean, you know, I think Paul Weir has done a really good psychological job on these guys. Hey, the guys who play the hardest, practice the hardest, those are the guys who are going to play. If you don't practice, that's why Mellowatch plays a lot, because his energy, the fact that he plays hard all the time. You know, Jaquan Lyle is the most interesting guy to me. And Hunter Green made a statement last night I thought was apropos for the situation with Jaquan. He's kind of got an old man's game.
He does.
You know, he kind of dribbles the ball slow. Everybody's running full speed, and he kind of, hey, man, just say, take your time.
It's like,
you know,
he's Harden light style.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, but, you know, he's a big guard. He dominates the ball a lot. You know, I thought he shot a lot, but I think, you know, the old man game word was good, because he really is. I mean, his game is not real flashy in a lot of ways. I mean, he just he scores the ball. I mean, he knows when there's a mismatch, when there's a smaller guy on him, he posts him up. I mean, he really does a good job that way, and the guy plays a lot of minutes. I didn't realize he was playing that many. I thought Vance Jackson played a lot of minutes, but, you know, you look at the minutes, and Jaquan Lyle is playing.
Lyle and Bragg last night both played 34 minutes. And I like what you brought up on Carlton Bragg. The dude runs the floor, and that's his advantage, is his athleticism as a big guy. He has quick feet. He can move. He gets rim to rim very well.
He lost 40 pounds.
He's in great shape.
Yeah.
So as much as people like to bag on Paul Weir in the workouts, you got to be in shape. If you're an athlete, you got to be in shape. You're going to work out. Yeah. And
he controls every part of these kids' routine. I mean, their diet, you know, amount of sleep, all that stuff. I mean, he's really a stickler on all those things. And it really paid off. And I remember seeing Jaquan Lyle, like I told you, over the summer, and I was like, what happened to you, dude? You look like an athlete now. You lost all this weight. and he kind of turned and smiled. And it's like, really? You really noticed? Like, you were Chubsy Ubsy last year when you hurt your Achilles in.
Now, he had the bum Achilles, man.
Yeah. I mean, but, you know, you can't just sit around and eat Doritos and pancakes, you know. And
it's hard. It's holiday season. You know how many tamales I've already consumed so far?
Oh, it is. It is.
You hit Thanksgiving and then Christmas. It's hard, but these guys are in great shape. And this was
Paul. Ate a pie. That's what I think.
This was Paul Weir on Hendricks post game.
He's a talented player. I thought he was a little too aggressive defensively. I brought him over. He's literally 2 inches from his man, you know, and it's like, just back up 6 inches, back up 10 inches, and you'll be in much better position. He was just very excited, which is impressive that he made the shots that he did, given the excitement that he had. But I told the media when I met with him last week, I mean, in practice, he's either 6 for 6 or 0 for 6. It's either the day where he doesn't miss or a day where, I'm telling you, it never goes down. And he had one of those days tonight where it just that ball was going in.
So next segment, we're going to get into playing time. And Paul Weir was asked about that last night, and that Hunter Green asked a great question. He said, how do you deal with it? And Weir got into specifics. So we're going to get into that next segment, but just about the talent, because I know that's a fear on some Lobo fans' mind, is there's going to be a bad apple. There's going to be a guy that has his head down and he's sulking, and he's going to tear everything down. So we'll address that next segment, but just right now, the performance in the second half. And this Carlton Bragg, Mountain West Player of the Week, just on a double-double roll right now, 20 and 14, but it's the 14, it's what he's doing at the rim that has Paul Weir's attention.
And rebound the ball at just such a high level. The rest of it, to me, is gravy. But the rebounding he's providing us at both ends of the floor is game-changing. It was game-changing against New Mexico State. It's game-changing tonight. He's an elite rebounder, and I'm so happy for him, because I talked about it, I think, post-game after the New Mexico State game. The knock on him coming here was rebounding. That was the knock. Carlton was not a great rebounder, and since he's got here, every NBA scout that's come through here, every coach, hey, you got to rebound. And we've been on him and on him and on him. And for him to kind of respond like this and do that is I'm really happy for
And 5 of his 14 rebounds last night on the offensive end. He's keeping possessions alive. He's finishing defensive possessions. And he's one of those guys that looks like a completely different player this year.
Yeah, I mean, his inside game, outside game, he's the package now. He's the real deal. Like you said, I mean, his energy up and down the court. I was surprised with the Paul Ware comment of, getting Hendricks, back a couple inches. Mm-hmm. No, you need to stay up.
Up in their grill.
Stay up all in their grills. You cannot back a guy off, man. You cannot get a guy
to back
space. I mean, yeah, you don't want to give a guy space. I mean, if they call foul, then okay, then you need to back. But if they're not calling foul, we want that Georgetown Hoya defense, man, where we're just all over him back in the day with John Thompson. This is the thing that I really appreciate about Dr. Weir. He goes into detail. I mean, he pays attention to the detail of the game, and so I talked to Gary Colson a little bit about that when Gary came into town. He said, "Man, I really like this guy. He really gets into the finer details of the game, and I think he's gonna be someone that's pretty good for this team." Now, Colson wasn't. It's interesting because Colson wasn't impressed with the crowd size. He thinks that we need to have more people at these basketball games, even if it's. I said, Gary, it's middle of the week. I mean, it's Tuesday night. People are, and it was cold. I mean,
well, you're playing inside.
But he's like, Ned, this is New Mexico basketball.
They play in the building. It doesn't matter if it's cold, but outside. So the Lobos, 9 players that you should be confident in being on the floor. How does Paul Ware address that? How will it play out with Vontae Hendricks now eligible? We'll hear from Paul. We'll talk about that next. JJ Bucknett, James Hoser, Jason holding it down on ProView. It's opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club or DreamstyleRemodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
The Lascombe family has been growing and crafting wine in New Mexico since 1981. Formerly known as St. Clair Winery, we're going back to our roots and honoring our founders, Danielle and Hervé Lascombe. Today, our D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro locations continue to deliver the exceptional wine and food experience you've come to expect from the Lascombe family. Visit us and enjoy a culmination of our 6th-generation winemaking legacy and unique, perfectly paired foods. D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an order.
That was a guy that was a little. He did a great job, as always, Jeff Symbieta on the call, working Hunter Green last night, but you could tell he was a little flustered. There's a lot going on.
Jeff was flustered?
Yeah, especially with the way he was trying to end the broadcast last night.
Oh.
You can tell there's a lot on his mind. He just couldn't get it out.
Oh, with the football stuff. I got all this work going on.
Like, oh, by the way.
He even missed the day, which, no surprise.
Yeah. And by the way, there's a bowl game on Saturday, which, stay tuned, coming up, 9 o'clock hour, your chance to win a pair of tickets to the New Mexico Bowl on Saturday. San Diego State, Central Michigan, the teams come to town today. Media opportunity. Talk to Keyshawn Banks, Jordan Bird, Albuquerque Products, playing with Rocky Long at San Diego State, Jim McElwain, and the Chippewas. And what a turnaround. 1 win last year, 8 wins this season. They played in the MAC title game. This is 2 good teams. This is going to be a solid football game, offense versus defense. We'll get into that throughout the week. JJ Buck, Ned James, Hoser, Jason Hometown on ProView. Check us out, Comcast Channel 26, the Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Quan's Auto Care hotline is 246-0610, 1-888-922-0610. You can send an email, jj@610knml.com. We'll get there shortly. Have some thoughts via the email on Danny Gonzalez, the new Lobo football coach. Of course, you can hit me up on Twitter. It's _JJ Buck. Lobos last night, 91-71. These are the games that you control, that you handle. And it was like a get-by first half. It was kind of sluggish, a little bit sloppy. And then they pulled away. They out-talented Grand Canyon. The Lobos have talent. This team is good. I'm not sure where the expectations are because they didn't necessarily come into the season and people were thinking NCAA tournament. It was more, all right, compete in the Mountain West. But more and more, this team is drawing me in. And I will say, I found it interesting. We're talking with a prominent voice around here. And he said, I couldn't watch the team anymore. I just couldn't watch it. Last night's game. It's like they don't pass the ball enough. They're too selfish. I was like, wait, what? When the Lobos went on their run to start the second half, they had 10 assists on 11 of 17 shooting. They went 6 of 10 from 3, and that's when they pulled away and had a 66-47 lead. I was like, what are you watching? Like maybe the first half they're sloppy at times. I know people can get frustrated with Lyle. He had 5 turnovers, but he did have 6 assists. He went 6 of 9 from the field. Yeah. I don't see that with the team. Like, it's basketball. You're not going to have a great possession every time down. I think for the most part, this team does a good job of what Paul Weir wants them to do.
Now, do they want 4 corners? Do they want Hoosiers? Do they want, Gene Hackman playing, I don't get it. I mean, and I understand the game, the men's game. And I went to a basketball game once with a really good friend of mine in California when Tom Brennan was the athletic director up at San Jose State. But he wanted to go to a women's basketball game because he's a basketball purist, because he wants to see the passing, he wants to see the picks, the screens, he wants to see the ball move around. There's just some people that are just like that. They have to see the game the way they imagine it as a coach if they're playing the game fundamentally. And so that's why they get, they get lost, I guess, in translation when the game moves so fast in the men's game. And if you're like Paul Weir mentioned, the bully ball, if you're bigger, stronger, faster than the other team, just take the ball to the glass. Forget about, you don't need to pass the ball. Throw the ball in, throw it to the mismatches, let that guy play off of, his advantage over the smaller guy, and let's just go win the game. Sometimes you just have to go win the game, JJ. You don't have to it isn't complicated, and I think a lot of times people get caught up in the minutia. They get caught up in the different ideas of how to play the game the right way. And I don't know if necessarily there's a right way other than winning the game.
Yeah, and for the Lobos last night in the first half, 8 assists, 9 turnovers. Well, the second half, 14 assists, 7 turnovers. So they played cleaner basketball. They moved it. They hit shots. That's how you get an assist, by the way, is you hit a shot. So it's not always a great pass doesn't always lead to an assist.
One thing I do understand with the caller or your friend or whatever was saying, I could see where someone could get a little bit dissatisfied with the fact that the ball's being turned over and all those sorts of things. But that's what happens when a team feels like they're so much more superior than the team that they're playing. And you said you talked to one of the coaches before the game, and he was worried about that. They weren't taking the game very seriously because it wasn't. But that's what happens when the game gets more competitive. Then guys lock in. Guys are more focused. Guys tend to pay attention to the details, and because they know they better pay attention to the details because we can get embarrassed out here in front of our own fans. So that happens in sport, and I just know that just from being an athlete myself. You can get kind of. It's like when the Lobos in football, when we're playing the Aggies, we know there's a far inferior to our talent, and so we kind of take them for granted. And every now and then they'll sneak up and beat us, and in one of these other sports, basketball, and then they get a little cocky, and then we have to bring them back down to earth. It just happens, It just happens when you feel like you're the superior talent, and so that's what happens sometimes in the games. And I think that's what happened with our basketball team yesterday against Grand Canyon, but we won by 20 points. We should have won by 35 or 40. That's what
they handled their business. Speaking of close game, 6 points at halftime, and then they came out second half, different basketball team. Well, now also 9 players deep. There's 9 guys you look at, and you can make a case deserve to be on the floor. Different lineups, they're going to come at you differently. But people, it's been a common theme. Where are the minutes coming from? Who's going to play? The over-analyzing of a dude on the bench. Oh, no, his head down. He's not as happy as he should be. And I think that's why at times we see Keith McGee kind of go over the top because he's seen it before. He's like, all right, I'm just going to go crazy now. But it's a good problem to have. If you're a competitor, you're going to want to be on the floor. And Paul Wiersdresse, he's like, if my guys have a little bit of an attitude, if they have a little bit of an axe to grind, that's what I want. I want these guys out there. But then they're going to have to deal with it. So Hunter Green asked him specifically, how do you deal with these guys and playing time?
Meetings, film sessions, and I'll be totally honest with you, evaluating ourselves inside and out, being able to sit down with Corey and Carlton and say, here's how the 2 big lineup does. Here's how it did in all these different games. Here's my rationale of when we go big, when your minutes will go up or when they'll go down, and sitting with Zane Martin, and here's when you play point guard, and here's when you have it, and here's what goes well, and just have it continually informing them, but you're informing yourself as well, because there's times you've done a little of that research and gone, you know what? Maybe this kid should be playing a little more. It's hard. I mean, I think
we should hit break after this.
Beginning of the year, and I gave them 200 minutes, and they all had to fill out how many guys were going to play minutes. I mean, we had 9 guys playing 30 minutes. They don't. 200 minutes is
Math
200
is
minutes.
Exactly.
200 minutes is very hard to divide up.
Math is tough.
It's difficult. It's difficult.
Especially when you want minutes.
But when you have a player of Carlton's stature, when you have a player of Jaquan's stature, and you have someone of JJ's stature, you're taking, you've got 3 really pivotal guys taking key minutes right off the bat. You've just lost 100 minutes, and there's not much left after that.
And that's what it is. It's honesty, directly from the coach, talking to players, saying this is what it's going to take. In this game, you might have a bigger role based on the way we want to play, but it's direct. Yeah. It's from the head coach, and that's what you want. You want honesty. It's going to stink at times if you're one of the guys that's not getting into the game, but you're talented. Have a team that can win a lot of games this season. and you're a competitor that's going to have to put his head down and go grind against those other guys.
I love that. 200 minutes. See, I like the coaching, the detail part of the coaching. There's only 200 minutes. You're not getting 201 minutes. You're not getting 200 minutes in 10 seconds. There's only 200 minutes in the game. Fellas, how do we line up? How do you see yourself? I mean, and that's why they pay you the big bucks, Coach, because you got to figure out this. You got to figure out how to make these guys happy. You got to figure out how to keep guys from, getting down on themselves, having low self-esteem because they're not getting minutes. I mean, that's why the coaches in college get paid the big bucks. And I think Paul Ware, the way he explained it, the way he, that's why they call him Dr. Paul Ware now, because he's probably got a doctorate in psychology now, the way he has to deal with all these emotions and these personalities. And that's helped. And I think, he's done a great job. I mean, it was really, it was great. Hunter's question was great.
246-0610, 1-888-922-0610, Quan's Auto Care Hotline. You can send your emails, jj@610knml.com. We keep it rolling. It's opening drive here at 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Hey, the holiday times are times when we might not spend a whole lot of time away from home. Company parties, holiday events, a lot of us will travel out of town to visit families, and an empty house is a target for thieves. Hey, it's Jeff Simpieta telling you about International Protective Service. IPS is a security company I trust. They provide security to my home. Trained officers, trained to protect your home when you're there and when you're not there. They'll patrol your neighborhood, give your home that lived-in look, pick up the mail, newspapers, and on garbage day, they'll take the trash cans to the curb and back. And if your alarm goes off, IPS will respond with an armed, trained officer within 5 to 7 minutes. Police may take hours to show up. Bad guys are working overtime during the holidays. So does IPS. Put them to work for you so your home's not an easy target. Their job is to stop a break-in before it happens. If you own a business, you want to take some time off, not worry about your business during the holidays, call IPS and let them protect what you've worked so hard and so long to build. Call IPS at 897-2420, 897-2420, or go to ipsglobal.com.
Sports Animal Time is now 8:26. Let's take a look at this morning's commute. This report is sponsored by Airport Parking. Right now we have an accident at Cesar Chavez and University with delays in all directions. That just happened a few minutes ago. We also still have active that disabled art bus blocking traffic eastbound Central right at Washington. Other than that, things are not too bad here on a Wednesday morning, but if you see an accident or a major delay, make sure and give us a call on the Traffic Tracker hotline at 767-9167, brought to you by American Home Furniture Outlet and Clearance Center at I-25 and Comanche. When you head out of town for the holidays, don't overpay to park at the Sunport. Airport Parking has the lowest cost parking, more than 2 times less than parking at the Sunport. And Airport Parking has enough shuttles to get you to the terminal door or back in 5 minutes or less. Airport Parking, the only lot off Sunport Boulevard, easier, quicker, smarter. I'm Josue with your Sports Animal Traffic.
The Dan Patrick Show.
I just want to see football. I don't want it to be penalty, couple of plays, penalty, and that's what you had. And I'm not sure why the NFL would do that, where you go above and beyond the Call of Duty to call more penalties. I think if it's obvious, egregious, then call it. But, it's flags interrupting the flow of the game.
Weekdays at 1, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
A better life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
We're already 3 months into flu season, but I promise you it hasn't peaked yet. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, CNN's chief medical correspondent.
Jerome.
Numbers on last flu season, which was mild, but it was the longest flu season in a decade. According to the CDC, 43 million people got sick with the flu last year. 650,000 were hospitalized, and more than 61,000 people died. That's right, 61,000 people died of the flu right here in the United States. That's hard to wrap your head around when you consider that influenza is at least in part a preventable illness. The best way to protect yourself? Get a flu shot. Experts say you should have gotten one by the end of October, but it's still not too late. Remember, it can take up to 2 weeks to build up immunity after you get vaccinated. And since we know flu season typically peaks in January or February, there is no time to waste. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
The Home Depot is giving Santa's Workshop a run for its money with free power tools from top brands like DeWalt, Milwaukee, Rigid, Ryobi, and Makita. Buy a Select power tool or battery kit from any one of these trusted brands and get another Select tool from the same brand free. Even Santa can't beat that. Free Select power tools from top brands, only from the Home Depot Gift Center. How doers get more done. Valid through February 2nd while supplies last.
This morning you feel alone, 'cause you forgot your phone at home. So now you're forced to interact with small talk and awkward eye contact. Out here trying to survive like it's 1995. The dark ages. When your morning is hell, just go to Taco Bell.
And try the $1 grilled breakfast burritos with fluffy eggs and your choice of crispy bacon, sausage, or potatoes. Only at Taco Bell. At participating stores for a limited time during breakfast hours. Prices may vary. Tax extra.
I'm Nancy Burse, your Bernalillo County Treasurer. This year, first half property tax payments are due December 19th through January 19th, 2020. Find out more by calling 468-7031 or go to bernco.gov/treasurer.
In most situations, it's easy to debate who is the greatest of all time. But when you need collision repair, there's only one clear GOAT. Quans has won a Best of the City award for the past 6 years straight. Don't go to any collision repair shop. Go to the Better Collision Repair Shop at Quans Auto Body. Our award-winning customer service and certified collision repair makes Quans better than the competition. Make the better choice and visit Quans Auto Body in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho.
Scott Stigler here for Windsor Door Sales. If your garage door won't open, then your spring is probably broken. Cold weather takes its toll on springs and boing, they break. It's happened to me. It'll probably happen to you. If it does, your car is stuck in the garage and you've got places to go. Windsor Door Sales can get to your home quickly and put you on a payment plan so you don't spend your holiday money. Call 345-6604 or visit WindsorDoorSales.com.
Fast, friendly, and efficient. Windsor Door Sales.
What's in store this holiday at your local Staples?
Missile toner.
And ink nog, huh?
I mean, come on, who doesn't think ink and toner during the holidays?
You don't. Okay. Well, Staples is aiming to fix that. Right now, you get 25% back in rewards when you spend $75 on ink or $200 on toner.
Now who's not thinking ink and toner this holiday?
Give your printer the gift of ink and receive 25% back in rewards.
Staples, there's a whole lot in store.
Ends 12/24/19. Restrictions apply. See store or staples.com/25 in rewards for details.
Ordering online? Just click and your purchase appears at your doorstep. But the vehicles that move your order, trucks, jets, and ships, create a lot of greenhouse gas emissions. That's why ExxonMobil and Synthetic Genomics are developing algae biofuels that can reduce emissions from all those trucks, jets, and ships by half. The upshot? A future where your deliveries are just as convenient and greener. Learn more at energyfactor.com.
Doesn't it seem like things are always getting more expensive? Groceries, the rent, even utilities. Cost of living is up, but Allstate can help lower your cost of driving with new lower auto rates. You get the same high-quality coverage and hands-on expertise from a local Allstate agent. Now with new lower rates, you're in good hands with Allstate.
If you haven't quoted Allstate lately, it's the perfect time. Get a quote today. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Savings vary. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The Jim Rome Show. Up next at 10, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
I love AP Oddities. It's a great follow on Twitter. AP Stories. So a man in Anchorage, Alaska, robbed a credit union for $947, went shopping, and also dropped spare change in a donation bucket.
Oh, what a nice guy.
Good job.
And he's getting, what, 3 to 5 years in state pen?
It's like, I stole the money, might as well give it back to charity. But it's the holiday season.
That's amazing. Guys can still, I mean, it's not a little, but it's a little bit of money compared to guys who steal millions and get probation,
Oh, yeah.
Still some senior citizens, our couple seniors, our 401k funds.
That is
we'll give them probation. You shouldn't do that. Slap them on the wrist. The guy steals $50 from a convenience store. 3 to 5, state pen.
That will be a show for another day.
Yes.
Topics to get into, but it's opening drive. JJ Buck, Ned James, Hoser, Jason holding it down on ProView. Check us out, Comcast Channel 26. Of course, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can watch us Monday through Fridays, 5 days a week. I almost said 7. No one wants to be here Saturday, Sunday morning. Are you crazy? No, 5 days a week. And, of course,
ooh, there's a shot.
And, of course, podcast, post-show. Check it out wherever you get your podcast, Opening Drive on demand. But a big local morning. That's why I got you covered here. Taking your phone calls, 246-0610, 1-888-922-0610. You can email the show, jj@610knml.com. Also, find me on Twitter. It's _JJBuck. I got this one from John. He said, well, can't be anything but excited about the hiring of our new football coach. Coach knows chili and sopapillas already, so no culture shock happening here. Hopefully people give him a chance because he has to rebuild and stock up on recruiting due to the emphasis of JC recruiting by the previous coach. I'm excited enough to want to get out there and see some games after losing interest the last 4 years. Hopefully he can win a few games right off and rekindle some interest. Go Coach Gonzalez.
Yes, that's nice. That's what we want to hear. That's what we want to see. We want the enthusiasm. Keep it going. Let's try. Like I said, their expectations are to win all the games that first year. JJ, it's not going to be a first year. We'll give them a break. We'll show up to every game. It doesn't matter what happens. No, you got to come in, hitting the ground running.
And with that, one of the things when we read some stories and reports that was big with Danny Gonzalez was having enough support that he could get a staff he believes in, and the assistant coaches, and of course recruiting. And that's what it is. It's the staff and recruiting. You got to get the players so you can have the record. And development, whether it is JC guys coming in or they can get a class in here, redshirt some guys, have them 3 to 4 years to develop. That's going to be the timepiece to this puzzle. But it's early signing day, so it's work to be done. The Lobos are going to be playing catch-up.
Yes.
With this first-year signing class, but he's got to find enough balance to where, hey, maybe I grab a couple players that can compete immediately from the JUCO and find what I can to start developing. It's going to be a challenge.
Yes,
this spring and summer. Yeah.
Yes, it's program building. Yeah. It's different than being a coordinator, which Danny has been. And I'm sure he's done his homework. I'm sure he's known about this opportunity coming down the path. I mean, he knew probably a year ago that he was going to have an opportunity. Mm-hmm. And so I'm sure he got, prepared. He got his ducks in a row as far as where he was going to, go in recruiting, where he was going to go as far as coaching staff and support, because all of it's important. The players, though, number one, that's where you have to go. Eddie knows this. We talk all the time. We joke all the time. But, Eddie, you got to get the recruiting, Eddie, the recruit. I'm on him all the time. Hey, you got to play. Ned, I know, Ned. Like, Eddie, we got to get the players. Make sure, you got to get some players. And that's what happens in sport. It's about, the performance of the athlete and getting quality athletes. And with college, it's much different because there's a greater dynamic with the community and being a student and being a good citizen. So I mean, those things are all important. But at the end of the day, I mean, they've brought athletic administrators in here to make sure that they are successful on the playing field. And so that's where, I think, we all got to help. Like I said this a couple years ago, it takes everybody, even with basketball, track, baseball, whatever. It takes the whole community to recruit. I mean, you're going to see these guys with these, because they have equipment issued University of New Mexico gear on all the time. So you see these oversized human beings that are young walking around town. It's important that they feel welcomed because I remember being here and a lot of times guys don't have a lot of money, so you're using a lot of the university issued equipment. So you're walking around town. It's important that you feel like, hey, this is a place I want to be. I could stay. I just remember Coach talking about how he had kids from Dallas, or you got a guy from, Chicago or whatever, and it took everything he had to keep him here because these kids, they want to go back home. They know what they're familiar with, back home, and you just don't have it here. But you over time you learn to enjoy what you have here, and all these guys. I talked to Carlton Bragg. I talked to, some of the football players, Kentrell Moran, some of those kids, and they've adjusted. They've found things in the community. You see on Twitter all the time, Carlton Bragg loves bowling, so he's down there bowling. And in the community, people in the community that go bowling every week, they see him down there. I mean, it's not hard to miss a 6'11" guy, who's got bowling shoes on and, rolling the bowling ball down the lane. So it's those kind of things that, we really have to help Danny with. He's gonna ask the community for support. It's when it comes to bringing these athletes in and supporting them. And so that's what I'm looking forward to, is just trying to help him as much as I can with bringing quality student athletes in.
And anything with Danny Gonzalez, and what a lot of people want is just some consistency. It's competing in the Mountain West, not going winless in conference play. It's still going to be a big hill to climb to run down in Boise State, because that program is very good in what they do. But it's going toe-to-toe with Air Force, Wyoming, Utah State, Colorado State on a consistent basis. You can do that and then maybe make a run at Boise State. That's possible. I believe that is something that can be done at the University of New Mexico, and bowl eligibility as well. And when you have a down year, it's not necessarily three wins, 2 wins. Maybe it's still 4 or 5 where you have some hope late. Maybe you just don't get there. But that's a consistency. And we'll talk about that piece next. What Danny, we can assume he learned at his time at New Mexico working with Rocky Long, and kind of what those years meant for the program. And would you be happy if it got back to that level with maybe just a little bit more? It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Lava Rock Brewing Company, conveniently located on Albuquerque's west side, just south of I-40. You can come on in, enjoy our pizza, pasta, burgers, and more by Matucci's. It's all at Lava Rock. Lava Rock Brewing Company, come on in.
Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club, or DreamstyleRemodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
The Lascombe family has been growing and crafting wine in New Mexico since 1981. Formerly known as St. Clair Winery, we're going back to our roots and honoring our founders, Danielle and Hervé Lascombe. Today, our D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro locations continue to deliver the exceptional wine and food experience you've come to expect from the Lascombe family. Visit us and enjoy a culmination of our 6th-generation winemaking legacy and unique, perfectly paired foods. D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Local Union 412. Find a career with benefits, not just a job, at UA Local 412 Training Center. We are looking for plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC tech apprentices and journeymen. Call 505-256-9257. Local Union 412.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters! It's like it never happened!
At New Mexico Highlands University, you're more than a student, you're
one where it is acceptable to maybe even swing a helmet.
Yes.
Maybe even go Myles Garrett if someone does that to you. The stories. That is Ned James, former Lobo quarterback coach. Oh, the things he can tell you. And we'll share a bit. We can share the clean stuff for the radio here on the opening drive, 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. JJ Buck, Ned James, Hoser. Jason holding it down on ProView. Check us out, Comcast Channel 26, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can watch the show every morning. And, of course, on demand, we got the podcast that comes out after the show. Wherever you get your podcast, you can listen back. Today, big day locally. Lobos victorious last night on the basketball court, 91-71 over Grand Canyon. They're now 11-2. They've won 6 in a row. Lobo football names Danny Gonzalez, the next head coach. The former Lobo Valley Viking walked on at the University of New Mexico as a safety and punter. So he knows a little bit about New Mexico kids and how to recruit and develop talent in state, which is going to be big as well. Quan's Auto Care Hotline, 246-0610, 1-888-922-0610. Randy, you're on the opening drive. What's going on, Randy?
Hey, I'm calling about Danny Gonzalez. I mean, I'm glad he's a local guy. And we talked about putting fans in the seats.
Mm-hmm.
There's a quarterback out there right now, and I don't know if any of you guys remember, 2016, he was the St. Pius quarterback, Drew Ortiz, man among boys. I mean, he took St. Pius to the state championship, went and walked on it, UTEP, did work out there, went out to junior college. He's at Minnesota West. The guy is better than any quarterback that UNM has right now. Really? And I'm telling you, Danny's got to go after this guy. He's rated one of the top 4 junior college quarterbacks in the nation right now. He has 3 years of eligibility, and he's the best RPO quarterback I have ever seen. He made Player of the Year out there in Minnesota in that conference, took him to their first playoff win. And, I mean, if Danny doesn't go after this guy, that's a guy from St. Pius, a local kid from Rio Rancho. He could put fans in seats, and he's better than any quarterback that UNM has right now.
All right, Randy, appreciate the phone call. And those are the things that you have to find. And I know it's been a criticism, and it was something that just kept boiling over and over. When the team wasn't successful, there weren't enough New Mexico kids on the roster.
You know how I feel about that. I'm driving down Coors Boulevard. I stopped in the summer and watched those kids out at St. Pius practicing at 7:30 in the morning, in the middle of summer, when they've got jobs to go to and all those other things. So I love, the fact that, he knows where a high school player from this area, has gone, and maybe that's his buddy or he's coached them or whatnot. And that's the enthusiasm you need. You need enthusiastic people in the community that want to see the program succeed. And New Mexico kids, whether this kid is good enough to play here or not, that's left to be said. The kid's gone. Obviously, he's gone on to develop, and we don't know whether the kid wants to play here or not. He could have better offers, and sometimes, a lot of times, kids will weigh their options. And we've got 3 quarterbacks here now, so it's interesting how, guys will say, hey, he's better than every quarterback here. Well, the guy ain't played a Division I game yet. You can say a guy's better when he's won some Division I football games. You can project and you can, think, hey, this guy's a good prospect. But to say the guy's better than guys that are already here that played is kind of being a little bit.
Well, Randy got into 460-610. You can continue to share your thoughts as well. And that's a big topic of conversation in recruiting moving forward. We're talking about a New Mexico kid who was a walk-on, so he knows what that's like. How is Danny Gonzalez going to handle New Mexico recruits moving forward versus a scholarship, walk-on, try to develop, earn a scholarship? Where the player is going to come from. We'll continue to talk about that. What's ahead for Lobo football. Lobo basketball victorious last night. The Aggie men are back in action. It's a get-right game.
20.
Them tonight against Arkansas Pine Bluff. We got you covered. JJ Buck, Ned James, Hoser. Jason is the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal.
Westwood One Radio Network. No
surprised to hear Lamar Jackson is among the starters for the 2020 Pro Bowl in Orlando, Florida. The second-year phenom leads a group of 12 Pro Bowl selections for the Ravens. The Saints lead all NFC teams with 7 selections. Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn will return to Detroit in 2020. That's also the next time Matthew Stafford will play football. On Tuesday, Stafford was placed on injured reserve. A.J. Green won't play for the rest of 2019. Green has missed the entire season after injuring his ankle on the first day of training camp. The Giants placed tight end Evan Ingram on injured reserve. Ingram, who appeared in just 8 games this season, has been dealing with a foot injury. And despite throwing 4 interceptions in Sunday night's loss to the Bills, Devlin Hodges will remain the starter for the Steelers this week when they face off against the Jets. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Prescription products require an online physician consultation and are only available if the physician determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive Little Blue Pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And Hims makes it extra affordable. You pay just $30 for a month's supply. And right now, get your first online doctor's visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/joy. That's right, free. 0 copay, no expensive appointments, no awkward face-to-face conversations to get your prescription. Hims connects you to doctors online who can evaluate you and, if appropriate, prescribe your ED medication. And a pharmacy sends it right to your door. Hims makes it affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to Hims, nobody has to. And that's really good news. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/joy. That's forhims.com/joy for your free online visit. forhims.com.
The Sports Bar with Michael and Mike.
My favorite part of the Sports Bar would probably be Lobos, Aggies, and Dallas Cowboys.
I just like all the Lobo coverage that you guys have and the in-depth parts that you get to the program.
I just love listening to you guys.
Sports Bar at 3 p.m.
You never know what's going to happen next, and it's hilarious. I love the chemistry. I appreciate you guys. You do a great job.
Weekdays at 3, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Hi, this is Jan. Thanks for calling Toyota.
Hi, Jan. I heard Toyotathon is on.
We've got great year-end deals on Camry, RAV4, Tundra, Highlander, and more. Do you hear that?
That would be my mom. I'm home for the holidays, and apparently she's still eavesdropping on my calls like she used to.
What was that again about year-end deals?
Mom.
Sorry, honey.
Okay. Toyotathon is on now. Come in today.
Right now, get 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2019 RAV4 with $1,748 per thousand borrowed, or get $1,500 cash back on a new RAV4. Toyota, let's go places.
Excludes hybrid. APR and approved credit from Toyota Financial Services. Cashback savings from Toyota Motor Sales USA Inc. Does not include college credit military rebate. Must be applied to the transaction. No cash payment will be made to consumer. Varies by region. See dealer for details. Offers end January 6th.
Visit Toyota of Santa Fe, Larry H. Miller Toyota Albuquerque, or Larry H. Miller American Toyota. Or for more information, visit Toyota.com. Toyota.
Doesn't it seem like things are always getting more expensive? Groceries, the rent, even utilities. Cost of living is up, but Allstate can help lower your cost of driving with new lower auto rates. You get the same high-quality coverage and hands-on expertise from a local Allstate agent, now with new lower rates. You're in good hands with Allstate.
If you haven't quoted Allstate lately, it's the perfect time. Get a quote today. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Savings vary. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Are you one of who thinks it's okay to drive stoned? I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You end up driving below the speed limit? It's no big deal, right? Wrong. The truth is, your reaction times slow way down when you're high. You not only put yourself in danger, but everyone around you. Talk about a buzzkill. Stop kidding yourself. It's not okay to drive high. If you've been using marijuana in any form, do not get behind the wheel. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA.
You're in charge of hiring, and Indeed has solutions, like online skills tests, which let a candidate show that they're the right hire. And we give you this magic music, which will inspire the perfect hire to begin clog dancing. Okay, there's no magic music, but skills tests, that's a for sure.
See why independent research by Silk Road shows Indeed delivers 3 times more hires than any other job site. Post your next job at Indeed.com/hire and try skills tests for free. Terms and conditions apply.
What's in store this holiday at your local Staples?
Missile toner.
And ink nog, huh?
I mean, come on, who doesn't think ink and toner during the holidays?
You don't. Okay. Well, Staples is aiming to fix that. Right now, you get 25% back in rewards when you spend $75 on ink or $200 on toner.
Now who's not thinking ink and toner this holiday?
Give your printer the gift of ink and receive 25% back in rewards.
Staples, there's a whole lot in store.
Ends 12/24/19. Restrictions apply. See store or staples.com/25 in rewards for details.
K240BL Albuquerque is 95.9 FM, 610 KNML Albuquerque, the sports animal.
Well, there's not a perfect balance. You just have to find talented student athletes, develop them, and put a team together. That is what new Lobo head coach Danny Gonzalez will have to do with Lobo football. As came down the pit ramp last night at halftime. Eddie Nunez announcing the former Lobo, the Valley Viking, and Arizona State defense coordinator as the new head coach of Lobo football. At the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal. JJ Buck, Ned James Hoser, Jason holding it down on ProView. Check us out, Comcast Channel 26, the Facebook, the Twitter, the YouTube. We have you covered. So Danny Gonzalez is someone that knows what it's like to walk on and earn an opportunity. That's exactly what he did as a safety and punter from Valley High School when he joined the Lobos. So I think he has a unique perspective on it, especially being with Rocky during those years, because there were a lot of standout New Mexico kids that developed. And it wasn't necessarily that, they just gave a bunch of kids chances. There were some talented players, like Nick Spiegel down the line, dudes that size, good players coming through. Now you have to develop size. You have to get kids in the weight room. So I think that's going to be a fascinating dynamic. Is Danny Gonzalez not only went through it, he saw how Rocky handled it in terms of being able to recruit New Mexico, deciding the balance of who gets a scholarship offer versus I want you in the program, but I'd like you to go this route, a walk-on. Try to use that in-state walk-on program a little bit as well. And then hitting Texas, hitting California, because most of their recruits are from California. You do want Texas kids because Ned loves them Texas high school football kids. They are built differently.
Yes.
And then it's also about building the relationship. And I do think that high school football coaches in this state will have a different reaction to Danny Gonzalez. And you hope he builds those connections.
Right.
All right, this is who we have. And it felt like, and it's not fair sometimes because you don't know what the assistant coaches are doing, but that there really was never really a synergy with Lobo football and the high schools in state.
You have to change that.
Yeah.
You have to find a way to connect your program with the coaches in the state. Now, every state has a high school coaches association, and you have to get with the members of that coaches association and let them understand what can you do to help them so that they can help you, which in turn helps everybody. I think that's what's going to happen. I think Danny, he knows enough people here. He's been around the community. He knows he's got coaches that he's played for that are high school coaches in the area that know these other high school coaches who can, have Danny's back, so to speak, when it comes to kind of dealing with situations, that can become problematic if you're not careful. But with all that being said, at the end of the day, the talent evaluation, comes back to the assistant coaches, and the head coach makes the final decision. And so these guys are going to be evaluating kids from all over the country.
Yes, and that's an important thing still.
And that's what people need to realize, that you're competing not just with New Mexico kids, but with kids around the country.
And it's something that you want to be successful at developing in-state kids because it's right there. It's what you can have easier access to. But what I always like to say, too, is when Ned James was a kid from California that put on a Lobo jersey, and he calls himself a New Mexican. These kids, when they commit to the program, they become a Lobo.
Right.
And you can develop into someone that loves the state, that eventually stays around, works here. And you went through your career, and where'd you end up? You came back around to Albuquerque, New Mexico. So wherever the kids come from, there's an investment. And once they put that jersey on, whether it's here or down in Las Cruces, they're committing to your university and your state. So whether they're from New Mexico or not, then it's about the development, it's about your coaching staff and putting it all together. And with that being said, it is time. I wish we had some music for this. For Ned's wish list.
Oh.
Ned James, what do you want to see for Lobo football?
Okay. Now, Danny, if you're listening, here's what you're going to need, okay? You're going to need a number one receiver, you're going to need a number one corner, and you're going to need a number one running back. Now, that's to me a priority off the rip. If you got the private jet and you're at you're in Phoenix or Tempe, if you could bring back a number one receiver, a number one running back, and a number one corner, you will hit the ground running pretty good when you get here, because that's where it's going to have to start. We can go into detail on some of the other positions as well, and I'm sure he's trying to get up to speed on what he has here, because he's got a press conference today, and I'm sure before he has this press conference, he's going to meet with the team. Those kids, if some of the kids are still here, a lot of them have probably already gone home because finals is over. But the guys that are around, he'll meet a couple. I'm sure a couple guys stayed around, and Eddie's probably contacted a couple of kids to maybe even show up at the press conference. But it's important that you kind of find out what you have here and what you need moving forward. What people don't realize is that he doesn't have a whole lot of time. Shaking hands last night at the pit, that was great. I thought the optics of all that was fantastic. But the guy's got to hit the ground running. He's got to come in and he's got to bring something to the table. He's got to bring some players. And I know, Daddy, we're gonna get a good laugh at it one of these days when he eventually could come up for air and have a conversation with someone, because he knows and he realizes the work that has to be done. I mean, he said that in so many words when he spoke. But he's going to say that today. I mean, there's work to be done, and he's gonna have to hit the ground running. And I know there's a lot of different roads to take, approaches to take with this. But once you get a chance to sit down and evaluate what you have in front of you, then you can kind of go back and say, hey, then you can start really speaking to the community and going out and kind of doing all the stuff that has very little to do with the development of the student athletes. So I think that was just my little tidbit. Don't take it too serious, and go out tomorrow and bring a guy in at those three spots, but those are the positions that I'm looking at that I saw last season that we're
talking about. Danny Gonzalez, a defensive coordinator. He's a defensive guy. He was a safety.
Yeah,
in high school, so he understands the importance of that position. And you go back, to his time, he's worked with Glover Quinn, standout defensive back at the University of New Mexico, had a fantastic NFL career. So that is definitely a position you'd like to see better as a secondary overall. Number one wide receiver, I think you're looking for more of a big target, because there's big play guys, but there's not necessarily someone on this roster that you feel is they can just feed the ball to and kind of win any situation.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I mean by a number one guy, a guy who can win against everybody. That's the guy that you need. First and foremost, the game is played with scoring, so you've got to have a score. I think most people will say, hey, man, we got to find a quarterback, we got to find defensive line. Some of those positions, I think we're not great at, but we're okay. There's not a sense of urgency, but those three, having a
Lance
corner is going to be paramount when it comes. And Daddy's a defensive guy, and I'm sure the style of defense that he plays corner is a position that is really important in the grand scheme of things. We had one interception from the secondary last year. And I think we had it might have been two, but one came at the last game of the season. It's just one of those things that if you have a guy that can really play the number one receiver.
There was a point in time when Aaron Austin, your defensive lineman, might have been leading the team in interceptions.
Right, and so you can see why I'm emphasizing. You said Ned's list.
Ned's wish list. Number one wide receiver, number one cornerback, number one running back. I know someone who's disappointed that Ned isn't the head coach.
Oh.
And so, no director of operations. But Lance,
sorry,
opening
Lance.
drive. What's up, Lance?
I'm thinking we could take it to Denver.
Yeah, Ned. We're going to Denver to coach and take over.
You're moving me out of New Mexico. You can't do that.
But anyway, I just love Josué and his accent, like with the traffic. There's a delay at Coors in the Rio Bravo because of Coors. I joke with him off the air, so it's okay if I do it. You know, and I'm really
no offense, but
yeah, I did me and him are buds. But the dude that called in yesterday saying that you did a nice job, JJ, while Jeff was out of town.
It surprises people, man.
He had to go call the game last night. He's trying to get ready for his bowl game, and some guy, dude, if you don't know what's up, don't call it.
That's right.
Anyway, I'm really proud of the hire. The cherry smoke came out, and you didn't call me, JJ. You have my phone number.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
You didn't call Drunk Uncle. What's up, dude?
I left you a voicemail.
You know, and I rubbed off on you over the years. You know, I have. I've been calling as long as you've been alive, 25 years old. And we call it a station.
Thinking I'm 25.
You think I could have had a little more respect with that. But what we need to do is, you know, like the guy Cleveland right now, the running back, number 2. Keep him.
Dorian Lewis?
Yeah, keep him here. Keep those guys at least in state here. I mean, people underestimate. It's like we're in New Mexico. Our players aren't any good. Are you kidding me? Jesse Beckton. Okay, his girlfriend lives next door to me.
Jesse. I know Jesse.
He went to Del Norte. I was older than him, like by a few years, so I didn't get to actually play on the same level. He was a freshman when I left. And I said, Marshall Foss going to run all over you today. You know, he's over there hanging out with his girlfriend for the game, and he pounded the wall and said, I'm going to put him out of the game, and so many expletives, you know what I mean? And he sure as heck did. He went on a spin move, boom! You could hear that leg crack from way up where I was sitting, man. And first, and immediately, I knew who was knocking on my door. You know, really hard. And then, you know, it was a day game, and it wasn't even dark yet, you know. So he's saying, yeah, I told you I put him out of the game. That's the kind of guys we need to keep around. There's some tough guys out there that just like the that you look back, and you're tough. They're tough. There's no stars, but they're tough. Are you still there?
I'm listening, Lance. I'm giving you an opportunity to finish.
You know, they're just
finish
tough
strong.
guys that love their state, that love the people that come to show up and play harder. And it's a surprise of what you'll get. And my man over there at that quarterback spot still should be the recruiter. I mean, really, I don't. That's a wasted thing for us. I mean, to have Ned James go into your house would be really something. And I wish you would throw a jockstrap in the ring for that. I love you guys. Have a nice day.
All right, Lance. You finished strongly.
Now, one thing I will say to Lance, I hope he's listening, that when he talks about these great
he's listening.
Yeah. When you talk about these great players in the state of New Mexico, I got to tell you a story, quick story. I was coaching at Arizona State, where Danny's coming from. It was my first coaching job, and it was around signing date. Back then, there was one signing date. It was the second week in February. You could sign, and we had recruited. Arizona State had beaten Michigan in the Rose Bowl. They were 10. We're going to talk to Chuck Cecil tomorrow. He was on that Arizona team. The only team that beat Arizona State that year was the University of Arizona. They went on the Rose Bowl, beat Michigan.
Tickets.
But they asked me to recruit. They said, Ned, I was a graduate assistant coach. It was the week before signing date. They said, okay, we got everybody signed. He says, but we want one thing. We want the best player in the state of New Mexico. We hadn't recruited anybody from the state of New Mexico. 1 week, I get on the telephone, call the best player in the state of New Mexico, a kid down in Roswell named Mickey Reeves. State player of the year, top guy, probably going to New Mexico or UTEP or one of these schools. WAC was pretty good back then. I called him a week before signing date. He had probably committed to New Mexico. We got him signed.
Oh.
All I did was get on the telephone. So, because bigger schools can come in and do that. Because the head coach at Arizona State said, hey, we could go in the day before signing date, and if New Mexico has 5 commitments, if we want the best player that they've got committed, we can call them 2 days before signing date and get that kid to change his mind from committing to the University of New Mexico because it's New Mexico. We should get the best player out of that state without even trying hard. So that's what you're up against in recruiting when you have the best player. Now, these guys may all be great in the state. There may be 3 or 4 guys that are top kids and say, but also remember, there's someone else that's looking at your. They got an eye on you. If the guy's a really good player.
You really got to do your job. You got to get those in-state commits. It's not as easy as you think it is.
No, it's not.
But it's something that Danny Gonzalez and his staff will be doing at a high level. All right, it is time. We talked about it. Your chance, New Mexico Bowl tickets, teams coming to town today, San Diego State, Central Michigan, Saturday, noon kickoff, Dream Style Stadium, New Mexico Bowl. Caller
8.
Going caller number 8 today, 246-0610, 1-888-922-0610. Your chance at a pair of tickets to the New Mexico Bowl on Saturday. San Diego State, rocking along his Aztecs. Jim McElwain, his Chippewas, going at it. Good football teams, good football game. So caller number 8, 246-0610. Your chance at a pair of tickets to the New Mexico Bowl. It's the opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The Jim Rome Show.
The Sports Animal has been in existence a quarter of a century. This radio station is so amazing. I have been on that station 25 years. I'm really, really grateful for that. Really thankful for that. Albuquerque is an incredible jungle market.
The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays at 10, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Leonard Tire and Automotive has helped with Cooper tires, installation, repairs. You should really think about trusting your tire and automotive repair jobs with them. Leonard Tire Automotive been a family-run business. And one of the things I like about them, there's never been a hassle with them ever. Leonard Tire and Automotive is also car care. Change your oil almost quick as the quick stops can. They do engine repair, tune-ups, just about anything you need done on your vehicle. Stop by and see old Travis or Don Leonard today at Leonard Tire and Automotive. They're good folks, they really are. Second in Loma, so Eubank and Manal.
When I have a real estate question or concern, I call my buddy Scott B. Clark at Double Eagle Real Estate. It's Jeff Symbieta, and Scott's company is a successful family-run business that has been helping clients for over 38 years. Scott does it all: residential, vacant land, development, commercial, and even property tax consulting. Looking for that hands-on personal service and that professional to look after your best interests? Then Scott's your man. Call him today at Double Eagle Real Estate, 883-1414 or 933-1300. Scott's a proud supporter of Lobo Athletics in the Albuquerque community.
Richardson & Richardson Construction knows New Mexico, and they understand what it takes to build or renovate commercial and industrial structures. They're also Butler builders, using the industry-leading products and efficiencies of Butler Manufacturing. Look around the state and you'll see Butler steel buildings we've built at wind farms, manufacturing facilities, municipal facilities, and warehouses. When you're ready to build, call Richardson & Richardson Construction at 881-2268 or visit them online at www.headachefreeconstruction.com.
TJ Trout here, and winter fishing in New Mexico? Why not? There are fish to be had. For info and to buy your license today, visit the Department of Game and Fish website at wildlife.nm.state.us. Get out and fish, New Mexico.
Comfort Dental announces Care Day by offering free dental care on December 23rd from 7:30 a.m. until 12 noon. Only at Comfort Dental in Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Santa Fe. Some restrictions apply. Happy holidays from Comfort Dental.
Here's a holiday idea. Give the gift of pizza, because pizza makes everything better. Grab a gift card from Pizza 9. Yes, Pizza 9 is this week's sweet deal. Stock up at the Pizza 9 nearest you for the perfect stocking stuffer for Christmas. Or log on to their website at pizzanine.com to buy an e-gift card, mobile text card, or have a gift card mailed directly to your home. Then, after you're done spreading all the holiday cheer, treat your family and your friends to Pizza 9's delicious everyday 2-2-2 specials. That's 2 medium, 2 topping, or specialty pizzas, and a 2-liter bottle of soda for only $22.99. Spice up the holiday with Pizza 9's Pizza and Wings deal for just $29.99. You get 1 large 2-topping or specialty pizza and an order of meaty buffalo wings. As I said, Pizza 9 is this Friday's sweet deal. Glue your phone to your ear and website Friday at 9 a.m. to get $50 in Pizza 9 gift certificates for only $25. Even Scrooge wouldn't say bah humbug to a deal like this. Yes, I would. Shut up.
Go to sportsanimalabq.com and click on the Sweet Deals logo. We know you'll be saying sweet.
And now, a message from Vistaprint. This is a cow. The cow that made the milk that was made into the cheese that made Tober Dairy Farm into the talk of the craft fair. But cheese only lasts so long. The impression a small business like Tober Dairy Farm makes can last much longer, with the right business card to back it up. And now Vistaprint is introducing free shipping on all business cards in any quantity. That's right, free shipping on any card, any style, any quantity. Plug your information and logo into hundreds of fresh designs tailored to your type of company, or upload your own original layout. Pick from paper stocks like matte, glossy, or uncoated. You can even upgrade to a unique touch like rounded corners. The choice is yours. The time is now. I said now, not cow, Farmer Tober. For a limited time only, get free shipping on all business cards in any quantity at Vistaprint.com with promo code 5353. That's promo code 5353 at Vistaprint.com. Vistaprint. Own the now.
Catch the Sports Bar with Michael Carlisle and Mike Trujillo. Local talk today at 3, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Danny Gonzalez, new head football coach at the University of Mexico, will be announced this today. Official press conference. Last night he came down the pit ramp. First thing out of his mouth was, "I'm home." Nice ovation.
That was a LeBron.
Yeah.
James.
Was a LeBron.
Cleveland, this is for you.
Work to be done for Lobo football, but Lobo basketball got to work in the second half as they were victorious 91-71 over Grand Canyon. Been rolling along this morning. JJ Buck, Ned James Hoser, Jason holding it down for you on ProView. Quan's Auto Care hotline is 246-0610, 1-888-922-0610. You can email the show, jj at 610knml.com. You can also find me on Twitter. It's _JJ Buck. It's going to be a lot of work because I'm sitting there looking at the Twitter, and what's happening this morning?
The Twitter.
Announcements.
Uh-oh.
Recruiting announcements. It's early signing it. And you know who hasn't tweeted out an announcement?
New Mexico.
The University of Mexico. So work to be done.
Yes. Maybe we'll have our first signing at the press conference. We could say, hey, with Danny Gonzalez comes our first signee of the first recruiting signing date period, and that is, drum roll please, a number one receiver.
Yeah. But it definitely works to be done, but it's to be expected. I'm very interested in his staff and just also the reaction, because this was a home run for the community. A lot of people were behind it. They wanted to win the press conference. You get that with Danny Gonzalez. You also get a good football coach and work to be done. But now it's on the fans. What level of support will you give him next year and moving forward? Because year two expectations are much different than year one. And you're right, Ned. It's going to be go out there, win football games, be better.
Yeah.
But you also take a step back, and with recruiting, what the roster is losing, you're just unsure of what this team is going to be next fall. Right. So is it at least a honeymoon period? Are you going to just show up and support the new coach? Because so many people, and I've seen it over the last year, just said, I'm done. I can't support Bob Davie anymore. Call me when there's a new coach. Well, there's a new coach.
Yeah.
And maybe you're not necessarily going to rush out and buy season tickets, but he's showing up week one. Are you showing up to that stadium next year? And, those are the people we need to start hearing from that were very vocal against football, that maybe even got to the point and was like, why are we even playing football? Well, guess what? It's a new guy. It's a New Mexico guy. It's someone that knows what it takes. He's got to go out there and get it done, but are you coming back? Because this is the energy people wanted.
Yeah, the alumni guys are going to support him come hell or high water. They're going to support him. They're going to really rally around him. I don't care what the record is. Mm-hmm. Football guys are really patriotic. They really, bleed, cherry and silver. Guys have practiced on that field, with all kinds of injuries and everything. They understand that, hey, this is a brother of ours. He's done the same thing we've done. I've talked, like I said, I talked to guys yesterday afternoon after the announcement came out. And, I mean, you talk about guys that are fired. You thought these guys were ready to go play. Now, they all have arthritic knees like me, and they're overweight, like me. They like to eat all the time like me. But they are excited about the fact that one of us, he's coming home. He's back. He's coming here to kind of resurrect the program. I mean, we've all had struggles in this program. We've all had successes in this program. He's felt them all, so he knows what it is. And a big part of being in New Mexico and being a part of the program, what the program's limitations are, and what the program's expectations are going to be, and you know where the limits are. You know how much you can get and how well you can do. So that's a big part of it. And I think that's why Danny is the perfect hire, because he knows all those things. Now you get into the X's and O's and the intellectual part of it. Hey, does the guy scheme well enough? Does he actually know how to be a head coach and get these guys motivated week in and week out, travel, all this off season, those kind of things.
And being the CEO, it's the press conferences, it's handling directly, hey, this is what happened with this guy over the weekend, and watch out for it. What are just some of the challenges going from just being a defense coordinator to then being the head coach?
You are less involved in the day-to-day operations of the actual scheming and the actual preparation for the game outside of the big picture of actually, making a decision to go for it on fourth down or kicking field goals, those kind of things. That's the kind of the height of what you're doing. Now, you have some of these head coaches that they're involved in the game planning and
that will be
Rocky Long's calling defense.
Yeah, and that would be an interesting question too for Danny is how he wants to handle it.
How he wants to handle it. If he's going to call the defense, if he feels strong enough with where he is as far as a head coach, to be confident enough to call the plays and be the head coach. So that's hard. It's difficult to be the play caller and also be the head coach. So you're competing against your guys, on offense, but you got to be able to kind of bring them along as well.
Yeah, and that
part of the team,
that
and you're competing against
head
them.
coach headset has everything running through it on game day.
Right. And, people have taken the approach where, hey, I'm hands off of the offense. Hey, the offense, they just do their thing. I'll just handle the defense. He'll be the coach of the offense. But as the head coach in college, particularly with guys, maybe have to transition from offense to defense. Maybe you see an offensive player you want on your defense. You want to put the best players over there because, he's
you can do that in college.
Yeah, in college, but you got to do what's best for the team in the long run. And we don't know. I mean, that's going to be a question at the press conference, I'm sure. Hey, are you going to continue calling the defense, or are you going to hire a defensive coordinator and let him call it? I mean, what are you going to do? And those are all things that you got to wait and see. You're going to, I'm sure he's got some ideas of how to go about doing that. I mean, one way or the other. But in the end, he's going to have to make a decision on how he wants to build this team, how he wants to have this team moving forward. And there is no honeymoon period. You could call it a honeymoon period if you like. I think the honeymoon period with him is going to be just the alumni guys rallying with support.
Kind of the next few weeks. And
yeah, but as far as the expectations of what the community and what people want to see, they want to see a champion. They want to see a winner.
Lobo basketball in action last night. A pretty darn good debut in the second half. We'll talk about that and where the playing time will come from. JJ Buck, Ned James, Hoser, Jason holding it down in Proview. It's opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Mortgages and home loans can be...
Lava Rock Brewing Company, conveniently located on Albuquerque's west side, just south of I-40. You can come on in, enjoy our pizza, pasta, burgers, and more by Matucci's. It's all at Lava Rock. Lava Rock Brewing Company. Come on in.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch Green Chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club or DreamstyleRemodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
The Lascombe family has been growing and crafting wine in New Mexico since 1981. Formerly known as St. Clair Winery, we're going back to our roots and honoring our founders, Danielle and Hervé Lascombe. Today, our D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro locations continue to deliver the exceptional wine and food experience you've come to expect from.
Already looking forward to next football season. It's going to happen. Hoser, you want to do sidelines?
What's happening?
J.J. Buck, Ned James, little high school football broadcast. We're going to do it.
Yes. Silent reporter. Always wanted to do that.
Go down to the sideline, Hoser. Who wants a hamburger? No, not the other job, Hoser.
Yeah.
The other
job. This is more serious. Like, what's going on, Coach? What's going on with your team?
By the way, do they just like to make you wait for where the fries are? Because that puts you at an awkward situation sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, and the fries are...
Yeah, and then the team was ready. I'm like, they're fixing to start playing around us.
It's a pre-made video.
Explain the behind the scenes.
Speed it up.
But we
Teams
always, we have to put it up, and sometimes we saw you waiting. We saw you waiting.
Both teams back in the court ready to play. Hoser's still there. The fries are.
Yeah, I was about to grab little Max. I'm like, man, let's get out of the court. We're fixing to get run over.
Number 3, you're
Hey,
a winner.
winner. Come on, let's go.
Whataburger, yay! Great job, though, man. You've been doing phenomenal out there.
I mean, you do a great job.
Hey, thank you.
Getting the people hyped. Because Hoser holding it down in the mornings, and
Energy,
he's
man.
the hype man for Lobo men's basketball. The promotions in between, it was a good night for Lobo basketball. A sleepy start. That's what I call it. Bit of a sluggish first half. They still had a 37-31 lead at halftime over Grand Canyon, and then exploded midway through the second half. 91-71 victory for the Lobos. It's opening drive here at 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. JJ Buck, Ned James, Hoser, Jason holding it down on ProView. Yeah, you put in some work this week, Ned. Early mornings.
Oh, yeah. Coming back from vacation.
That's always hard to do.
It's hard, man. You
Coming back from
see
vacation.
me chugging this coffee down, man. Trying to wake up.
And maybe it's caffeinated, maybe it's not.
I know.
Jason and I are thinking about an experiment.
Scientific research.
What happens if we put
These young guys
decaf? Would anyone
experimenting
notice?
with the old man's coffee?
When enjoying
Don't do it yet. Do it next week.
I'm going to try a
Jeff did.
decaffeinated coffee around here and see if anyone notices. Because radio, and I'm sure like all you out there on the job, whatever you're doing, sitting in the cubicle, doing construction, driving those garbage trucks. I know you guys are out there. Shout out. Great job. Met you guys at the birthday bash plenty of times.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing, you're dropping that caffeine.
Yes, you are.
You're pounding back that caffeine.
Pounding it. That's
It
what
is
I'm doing.
needed. But anyway.
An
back-
ergogenic aid.
Yeah. But last night, Vontae Hendricks made his debut. 12 points in the second half. 4 3-point shots. Very exciting. Now there are 9 players on this roster you look at and go, all right, they deserve to be on the floor. They're going to be part of this rotation. And it's going to be a challenge. Now, I don't think it's something that's going to pull down this team. Jeff Grammer wrote a story about it last week. You see it on social media a lot. The fans like to overanalyze the bench. Players head down. Maybe he's wearing his hoodie. Why is he not as engaged? It's going to happen, but I don't see chemistry being a problem with this basketball team.
Right.
Do you guys want to play? Yes. Will some be upset at times? Sure. But it's what you sign up for. And the thing is, and Paul Weir talked about it last night, and we'll play the clip one more time, it's
18 to 22-year-olds.
Yeah, is
They're gonna
about
have bad
how he, Hunter specifically asked him, how do you manage it? Because it's something the fans talk about all the time, playing time, this. So how do you specifically deal with it with the players?
Meetings, film sessions, and I'll be totally honest with you, evaluating ourselves inside and out, being able to sit down with Corey and Carlton and say, here's how the two big lineup does. Here's how it did in all these different games. Here's my rationale of when we go big, when your minutes will go up or when they'll go down, and sitting with Zane Martin, and here's when you play point guard, and here's when you have it, and here's what goes well, and just have it continually informing them, but you're informing yourself as well, because there's times you've done a little of that research and gone, you know what? Maybe this kid should be playing a little more. It's hard. I mean, I think I've said before, I gave them an exercise at the beginning of the year, and I gave them 200 minutes, and they all had to fill out how many guys were going to play minutes. I mean, we had 9 guys playing 30 minutes. They don't. 200 minutes is
Math
200
is
minutes.
not
Exactly. 200 minutes is very
it's
hard to divide up.
Math is tough.
It's difficult. It's difficult.
Especially when you want minutes.
But when you have a player of Carlton's stature, when you have a player of Jaquan's stature, and you have someone of JJ's stature, you're taking, you've got 3 really pivotal guys taking key minutes right off the bat. You've just lost 100 minutes, and there's not much left after that.
Look at Dr. Weir. Dr. Weir is always teaching. He's always trying to get the students to learn. And, maybe he just needs to go back on main campus and find a way to be better able in instructing math with college, 18 to 22-year-old college students. Because
I avoid the stat sheet does it for me. When I get my stat sheet, it says percentages. I look at it. That is my math. But that is Paul Weir's job, and he's embracing it. He's acknowledging, it's tough, but that's what I'm supposed to do as a head coach.
He gave them a homework assignment. I like that. Hey, 200 minutes, guys. Figure it out.
And that's
guys
why
come back with 300 minutes after being told that 200 minutes. You got some issues. You got some. Hey, can
y'all ain't playing 30 minutes a game, so someone's gonna have to sit down. But
science and math.
That's what it is. It's addressing it with the player specifically. The coach being upfront. These players want that honesty. They know what's up. They know what they have to do day in and day out. They practice against each other. They know the expectations, and it's all right. You want to be a player on a good team. Here you go. That's why I'm not worried that that's going to be the downfall of this team. It's just one bad apple, not getting playing time, putting his head down, because the coach is upfront. He's honest. He's talking with these guys. Hey, this is what it is. And you brought it up earlier too, Ned. The film doesn't lie. When you're going back, showing film, showing execution, that will say it all.
Yeah, I love going into their meetings. I like it. I did that with Heather Dyke, the UNM women's soccer coach. Just let me come in and see the installation. Let me see how you put the plan together. I like watching practice. Paul's let me come in and watch him do a film session once before, how they put in the strategy. I would like to go in the coaches meeting, but I'm sure he's not going to let me do that. But I like to see how they put the plan together and how they strategize and how they're going to give out the minutes, how they're going to, face certain situations that come up in the game. Because football, I know. The meetings don't. I'm not really stuck on.
You've been in plenty of football.
I've been in plenty of football meetings, but it's really fascinating to learn these other sports and find out how they strategize. Just like when he's talking about the minute thing and giving the guys a homework assignment. Hey, guys, put the minutes down. Just based on what you see with the rest of us, how do you see yourself fitting into the minutes category?
40.
Yeah, I got 40. Now, everybody else, let me just add up how much. But, for them to be able to do that, you be the coach. I'm a bad coach? Oh, I'm a bad coach. Okay, now I'm going to let you coach the team. Okay, you say who gets to play. Now, put you on the sideline. I'll just stand over here and watch, because most players think they can coach. And, most coaches think they can play like me sometimes. But, we can't play.
Give them a football.
Yeah. Players will always blame, hey, the reason why we lost was because of coaching. And coaches will always blame the game on the fact that they don't have players. And so that it works both ways. But it's really smart to let the players kind of see how, hey, this is the job we have. It's a tough job. It's not easy figuring out who's going to get minutes. It's not easy playing the matchups and the styles of play. Here's what our expectation. Here's how we see you. This is how I see you. Players look back at you like, well, coach, this is how I see you, because you see me this way. This is what I see.
Final break.
You're not seeing me objectively, and I don't think it's fair. But hey, you got a 1-year-old. Wait till your 1-year-old turns 4 and starts saying, "It's not fair, Dad. It's not fair."
No, that's coming. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
JJ Buck, Ned James Hoser, Jason holding it down on Pro V. We come back on the other side. Some news about a signing for New Mexico United happening tomorrow. Final thoughts today. Danny Gonzalez, Lobo Basketball. It's opening drive here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Lava Rock Brewing Company, conveniently located on Albuquerque's west side, just south of I-40. You can come on in, enjoy our pizza, pasta, burgers, and more by Matucci's. It's all at Lava Rock. Lava Rock Brewing Company. Come on in.
Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club or DreamstyleRemodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
The Lascombe family has been growing and crafting wine in New Mexico since 1981. Formerly known as St. Clair Winery, we're going back to our roots and honoring our founders, Danielle and Hervé Lascombe. Today, our D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro locations continue to deliver the exceptional wine and food experience you've come to expect from the Lascombe family. Visit us and enjoy a culmination of our 6th-generation winemaking legacy and unique, perfectly paired foods. D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow
UNM women in action tonight. Lobo Invitational, 3 games over the next 3 days. They'll take on Providence this evening, Loyola Marymount tomorrow, and Ball State on Friday. Here are all the games right here on The Sports Sound. We'll cover starts at 6:30. Josh Shushan, Nikki Heckroth, Lobato on the call. Of course, coming off the largest margin of victory in the series history against New Mexico State on Monday. Big one tonight. Talked to Josh Shushan earlier the week. He said this would be the big win. Of course, going up against Providence, but he looked at it and said, you go 3-1 this week, you're feeling pretty good about yourself.
Right. I just want to extend my deepest condolences to the New Mexico State Aggies for getting beat the way they got beat by the Lobos. We should not treat our little brothers in such a cruel way down south, but I am happy that the Lady Lobos are starting to find their way with this team. I mean, it's difficult with some of the defections we've had with players leaving, but I'm proud of the ladies, Antonia Anderson, Asia Robertson, some of the ladies that I know pretty well over there. I think they put in the work. They really do get after it in practice, and I just enjoy watching them perform. And I think they've lived up to expectations. I think Asia's coming around. I think her injury last year, was really kind of devastating in a lot of different ways, but it affecting the team, in their race to get to the NCAA and also the NIT tournament. It's unfortunate they lost that first round. I think just having her, and she's getting better. I don't know if she's quite there yet, but she's really an exciting player.
Jerome.
And that is former Lobo quarterback Ned James, by the way. Yes. If you didn't catch,
I'm a homer.
What happens with some of our discussions? JJ Buck, Ned James, Hoser, Jason holding it down on ProView Network. And we've talked a lot today. Of course, Danny Gonzalez's official press conference coming up at 12:30. So we'll have some sound and potential interview opportunities upcoming with the new Lobo football coach coming up tomorrow and later this week. I caught up with the new Isotopes manager, Warren Schaefer, yesterday. So we'll play that conversation tomorrow. Just good talking some baseball. Young guy coming up through the ranks. He was with the AA squad in Hartford last year, getting the opportunity to manage the Isotopes. So that was a fun conversation I had with him on yesterday. So we'll play that for you tomorrow. And of course, we addressed it earlier, but I did want to sneak in one more time to Austin Denton. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family. Passed away yesterday. He was such an impactful person in this community. His passion for sports and broadcasting. He accomplished his goal. And he said his goal was to be a broadcaster. He absolutely did that to such a high level because he was coming. He was going to take all of our jobs. Yes. And he was right there. But we'll mention it, and it was added to the story. If you see it, Jeff Grammer in the Albuquerque Journal, that a celebration of life will be held Saturday, 10 a.m. at La Cueva High School in the gymnasium for Austin Denton. Quan's Auto Care hotline is 246-0610. Jerome, you're on the opening drive. What's up, Jerome?
How's it going, JJ?
It's going good, man.
Hey, I'm just driving around. Who is this Ned James person?
You're just driving around.
Did he actually play football for the Lobos?
You don't go into parking garages, just driving around.
Yeah, and what year did he play? The 1950s, or when was it? Because I've never heard of the name Ned James before.
That's
he has
rough.
A lot of Aggie envy, because all I ever hear him talking about the Aggies, Aggie this, Aggie that, and we never talk about the Lobos unless we're playing them. I mean, he should focus and stay in his own lane, talking about Lobo stuff, and not worried about the Aggies.
Isn't that what a rivalry is, Jerome?
We don't need to take care of you. What was that, Ned? Keep it coming. What?
No, I said, Jerome, isn't that what a rivalry is, though? Isn't that what you want? A little back and forth? No?
Ned, did you graduate from UNM?
Did I graduate? Of course.
Yeah, did you actually graduate? I just want to know, because most local people don't actually graduate. They just want to do something else. I'm just checking.
He's got the diploma, right?
Diploma.
It's on the wall still. Might be a little dusty, but it's there.
Yeah, from the 1950s or something. Hey, but you keep plugging away at your Lobos, and I won't worry about Lobo stuff. I'll just be worrying about our Aggie stuff and taking care of what we do, and that's win basketball games, win WAC championship, and make NCAA tournaments. Have a good day, guys.
Jerome in the house.
That's what a rivalry is. To get all salty, like, stay in your lane. Oh, by the way, we're winning the WAC. We're winning this.
Sounds like
what a rivalry is, y'all. That's what it's supposed to be, a little back and forth.
Sounds like a little Self-esteem problem with the Aggies.
It's a give and take.
It's Albuquerque, man. What do you expect?
They had 5 in a row, and it shifted. It's now 2-0 for the Lobos, 4-0 on the basketball court. That's what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to talk about your rival. You're supposed to take shots.
Yes.
The diploma's on the wall.
That's right. Flush the toilet in Albuquerque, take a drink of water in Las Cruces, same water. You know, we're okay with it. We're okay up here. We don't have that self-esteem issue that they have down there in Las Cruces. So, but no, come on, Jerome. Come on, man. We're family, man. We're all from the state of New Mexico.
He put on that helmet.
We're the front porch of the state to the rest of the country. You guys are the back porch.
Rivalry,
That's all.
y'all.
That's all. We're all in the same house, though. You know, it's all good.
Speaking of staying in your lane, there's a lot of work to be done at New Mexico State. You know, with Doug Martin, I am seeing signing day continuing for the Aggies, the football program. And I know you have a lot of respect for Doug Martin and what he's done down there. But it's still a rivalry. You still put on that Lobo helmet.
That's right.
You still went up against the Aggies.
You are in Albuquerque.
That's what it is about.
You are in Albuquerque.
I expect the back and forth, the give and take. No one wants to take it.
You get to Las Cruces.
But you can give it, but no one can take it in the rivalry. That's Ned James. Hoser, Jason, great job as always, holding it down. What a day. We'll hear more tomorrow from Danny Gonzalez, the new football coach at the University of New Mexico. Get you ready for everything else, because we're here hitting you from start to finish on the opening drive. We got the Jim Rome Show coming up next, Dan Patrick Show at 1, Sports Bar at 3, women's basketball coming up
20.
Providence, 6:30, Josh Ushan, Nikki Heckrath, Lobato. Everybody, Meta World, peace and love. Have a great day. We'll talk tomorrow.
The Jim Rome Show.
The sports animal has been in existence a quarter of a century. This radio station is so amazing. I have been on that station 25 years. I'm really, really grateful for that. Really thankful for that. Albuquerque is an incredible jungle market.
The Jim Rome Show. Weekdays at 10, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
And now, a message from Vistaprint. This